Hello and good morning, and welcome to episode 3 of the Demons Clubcast with your hosts K13 and Mad Dog. How are you guys doing this morning?
I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah,
No.
Well.
There's just a lot, and especially with that bombshell that Kyle just dropped before the show.
that's a big one.
It's like he says it, and then Chowdr says, "All right, we're going live."
Well, we will get to that. The first thing I'd like to talk about is games that we've been playing. Kyle, why don't you go ahead first?
All right. I've been playing Alan Wake 2 since that dropped Friday. It's been really fun to get back into that. It's been 13 years since the first one, so it's been a long time coming. And they kind of do play off of that. You know, everything happened 13 years later, so takes place in real time, so it's really cool.
Okay.
Starts a little slow, I will say. So if you could just kind of get behind like what they're trying to do with like the tutorial aspect, kind of how they want to have you play it. Once you get through that, then you start to encounter stuff, and it definitely gets more interesting. And really quickly, once you start to encounter stuff, turns into a total mindfuck. So it's a great game so far.
Cool.
I love it.
Cool. We'll definitely talk some more about that because I have some stuff in the notes. I want to touch on some Alan Wake 2 stuff a little bit later. Anything else you've been playing, Kyle, or is that just? Or I know you. Oh yeah, and you made your return to Warzone.
I was gonna say that was a big one. That was a big one.
Yeah, and the return to Warzone, and we are featuring some Warzone gameplay from K13 this morning. If you're watching video of this episode, but we were very excited to have K13 back on the squad. At least I know I was.
Yeah, man, it was really fun. I had a lot of time away. It was much needed. My actual original plan was to come back to Warzone in like November, just before Warzone 3 or whatever they're calling it should drop, which I think is like December. So would give me enough time to still warm up. But you guys got me the Modern Warfare 3, so that just kind of reignited my fuel a little bit. So had to get back on.
His plan worked. It was like it was literally like he's either gonna come back or he's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it was a good session too. I think we only played like 3 hours or something, but it was a good session. We played that haunted mode, which pretty interesting. It was pretty fun, a little hectic, so it was nice to get chaotic, get sweaty.
The haunted mode was definitely fun. Mad Dog, how about you? What you been playing?
Dude, other than Warzone, I did just pick up The Forest.
Okay.
Which, dude, yeah, talk about interesting. So, like, I know I watched Lowe's 9-2 took a break from Warzone there for a while. I think he made it like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I did see that too.
but he played Sons of the Forest, and it got me looking in. And so Sons of the Forest is PC only, drops console supposed to be this next year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still no talk if there hasn't been anything yes or no about cross-platform on Sons of the Forest once they drop it.
I mean, at this point, with most games, I feel like they'll probably go for it just because. I mean, it's such a necessity, especially for big games like that.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. The Forest completely not cross-platform, but anyways, dude, it's one of those like survival games.
Okay, I've seen gameplay of it. I've seen the trailers.
Dude, yeah, not much of a tutorial. I'm going to say that. Also, the first time I played PS Remote because I was laying in bed. I had my backbone plugged in and I was sitting there playing.
Oh yeah,
the fucking antagonists. This. I read the description when I was trying to decide if I really wanted to do it. The cannibalistic tribe, dude, they're like fucking Jekyll characters. Like they're all fucking crazy and they lunge at you and they make these like howling noises to creep the fuck out of me. So the first time I actually played, I did a little exploration, built my fucking stupid ass little shelter built a fire to stay warm, and then they started just popping out of the dark and into the light real quick.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it's kind of creeped me out. But that one's actually been pretty fun.
Hell yeah.
I do actually recommend it for people. Once you get past that first initial, like, what the fuck is going on? You start figuring things out. I 100% recommend it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well,
So,
as for me,
what about you, my man?
as for me, I'm still pushing through the Phantom Liberty DLC for Cyberpunk. I just have to say, I played Cyberpunk 2077 at launch on an OG Xbox One, and playing it right now on an Xbox Series X with the DLC after update 2.0. It's a completely different. I mean, it's the same game, but it feels completely different. It's so smooth, everything runs so good, and it's so much fun. Like my character, I've they added 10 more levels onto the level up with the DLC, so you can go past level
Okay.
50, and so you can max out if you do your perks right, you can max out 3 of your different attributes. And so right now I have my cool, which is like your stealth and your pistol gameplay. I have that maxed out. I have my reflexes maxed out, which is like it can either be swords or assault rifles in your movement, and then I have body maxed out, which is your strength and using like shotguns and heavy weapons. And I have it maxed up into blunt weapons, and I have the gorilla arms. And let me just say, there's this ability you get with the final attribute perk, and while you can run up to someone, punch them, and then you get this finisher where you can pick them up over your head and just throw them at another person, and fucking body parts come flying off. There's blood everywhere. Like, the game is really satisfying. It's really, really satisfying. And
That's
I can never say his name right. Idris Elba, I think that's how you say it. The guy,
Yeah, so
yeah, I think that's how you say it. His performance in this DLC is awesome. Like, it's the DLC just feels like it feels really good. The entire, like, the story is like it gets you on the edge of your seat. You're trying to rescue the president, and you're involved with a bunch of spy shit. It's really good so far. I'm not all the way through it, but I know I'm getting close to the end. It also adds some more side missions. There's some awesome world events that happen where you'll be running around inside Dogtown, and there'll be this red smoke that's coming up, and if you go, there's a whole bunch of enemies there that you gotta fight through, and then there's this legendary crate that you hack open, and it's got tons of crafting components in it and a legendary weapon usually, and there's tons of loot in this, and they've added some really cool cars. The vehicle combat is amazing. I've been enjoying that, driving around, shooting people off of bikes and out of cars and stuff. It's been a blast. That Cyberpunk DLC is a lot of fun, and I've also been hopping in and out of Forza Motorsport, the new one. It's on Game Pass, so I have that downloaded, and I've been really enjoying that as just like something to mess around with when I'm not trying to be too serious. I don't have the settings all amped up, so it's like a sim racer. I have it to a difficulty level where I still can challenge myself if I want to, and the driving is still a little bit more, I would say, difficult than that of like Forza Horizon 5, because that's much more of an arcade game. But I really enjoy there's a great aspect of, you for each featured series you buy a car, and that's the car you use for the entire series. So you get this really awesome sense of uh like getting to know your car, upgrading it slowly, and as you drive it for each race, you learn your car better and better, so you know how, like, where you can push it and how you can push it. It's been a lot of fun. And then of course Warzone as much as I can. That Warzone event, for the haunted event, I've really enjoyed it. I completed all the monsters already, all the encounters, so I have that Bass P blueprint, which is actually pretty sick. I really like looking at that one. And the I'm trying to save up souls right now. 1,000 souls to get the fucking 1,000 souls to get the to get the that ghoulie camo for the event camo. I honestly,
It looks pretty cool.
dude, I've seen all of the event camos. I've looked at them all, and this is the first one where I've been like, damn, I need that. So
Dude,
Give it to me.
I'm grinding it out. Everybody's got their issues with this game, including myself. It's definitely gives
Yeah,
me.
it's awful.
I get frustrated. I
to say the least.
I get frustrated sometimes for sure, and but I will say that I feel like my Warzone skills have increased so much more playing this game than they ever did playing Modern Warfare 2019, which is a strange thing for me, but I feel like I'm a better player now than I was in the first Warzone. So
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
we'll see how that translates over into Modern Warfare 3. I'm pretty excited for that. But I would like to transition in over to Modern Warfare 3 because I'm sure, as you guys seen in the Discord notes, I got quite a bit to talk about with that.
I did see that.
So we got a couple things. First, the campaign early access starts November 2nd for those who pre-ordered the digital edition, the cross-gen digital edition, or the Vault edition. The pre-ordering the physical copies, obviously you're not going to get campaign early access because it's going to get sent to you on November 10th when the game comes out. I want to talk about what versions of COD there are, because there are a couple different pre-order bonuses for those who don't know. If you pre-order the game from GameStop, the just the physical cross-gen edition, because that's all there is for physical, it's just that disc base cross-gen version. If you pre-order from GameStop, you will get a steel book cover while the supplies last at your local GameStop. If you pre-order from Walmart, the physical copy, you get a pair of Control Freak thumbsticks for, I'm not 100% sure what controller. It did not specify. I couldn't find exactly which one. I'm assuming it'll fit on both, but you never know. They might make them different sizes these days. I don't really pay attention. And then if you get the digital pre-order of the base version of the cross-gen bundle, you will immediately get the soap operator pack, the zombie ghost operator pack. That comes immediately in Modern Warfare 2. So you can use Ghost as like a zombie. His face is all like messed up and decaying and stuff. It's really cool looking. And you get campaign early access on November 2nd. And if you're on PlayStation, you also get the Lockpick operator bundle. That's PlayStation exclusive. And the Vault edition is and the base editions are all $69.99, including the physical ones that you order from GameStop and Walmart. They're all $69.99. The Vault edition is $99.99, and it includes everything from the cross-gen bundle. Plus, you get the Nemesis operator pack, which is 4 operator skins for Modern Warfare 3, which people got to see in the beta. If you didn't see them in the beta, they were like the really cool, like pixelated looking bright skins for Captain Price and I forget the other characters' names. And then you get 2 weapon vaults. So if you guys remember, we got the weapon vaults in this game as well for the pre-order edition, which was that submachine gun, the Cinder builds for the submachine gun and that assault rifle, that universal wrap. That's like it's got like themed. It's got like the skull and it's kind of red and black. It'll be the same thing for a couple different weapons. In Modern Warfare 3. If you got the Vault edition, you get Black Cell for season 1 of Modern Warfare 3. That includes 20 tier skips, 1,100 COD points, and for pre-ordering, you also get an additional 30 tier skips for a total of 50 tier skips. And if you pre-ordered the Vault Edition on PlayStation, you will get an additional 5 more tier skips. So if you're on PlayStation, you can get a total of 55 tier skips for the first Battle Pass of Modern Warfare 3. Give yourself a fat boost in the multiplayer.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck, dude?
But everybody keep in mind, this probably, I don't know how much longer the contract between Sony and Activision is for Call of Duty, but I'm assuming that this will be the last one, at least until, and this will be the last exclusive content like this, at least until further notice, because of the purchase between ABK and Microsoft. So we'll just have to see what happens for the next Call of Duty for that one. And the other thing that, I've been personally curious about, and I was, because we've all been seeing all the stuff all over Warzone and hearing that stuff is carrying over. Well,
Mm-hmm.
we finally got a comprehensive, mostly confirmed list of everything that's transferring over to the game from Modern Warfare 2. Any rewards that we got from the beta. So if you played the beta and leveled up to level 30, you got all of the beta rewards, and those will be in the game for Modern Warfare 3 when you launch it, when it's open to go. Campaign rewards during early access, we're not 100% sure what they're going to be. Um, uh, there could be, specific skins from the campaign that you can only get from playing the campaign. Call of Duty likes to do that quite often. Weapon blueprints as well. There was a specific weapon blueprint in Modern Warfare 2 for the M4 that I remember distinctly using a lot in the very beginning because you don't have any attachments, but I had already played the campaign due to the early access. And then all the weapons from Modern Warfare 2 will be available um in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer from the beginning. So that's a starting list of 77 weapons. And then we're looking at another additional list of weapons from uh Modern Warfare 3. We're not exactly sure the full list of Modern Warfare 3 weapons, but some people like to think around 30. So we're looking at starting with over 100 different weapons this time for Call of Duty, guys. That's huge for me. Variety.
I saw something. Yeah, I thought I saw something that put something up near about 70. So
they're looking at
then,
we're looking at a lot of weapons right now. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice variety.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have to see how the meta falls out, because you know how that shit always goes. Yeah, exactly. Everybody start grunting now because it's gonna happen. We'll have to see how that falls down. If you played the beta, you already know that MCW rifle, aka the ACW, or the MCR, aka the ACW, or I can't even remember what it was actually called. ACR, I don't remember. But from the OG Modern
It used
Warfare
to be
2,
the ACR.
yeah, okay, it was the ACR. That's okay. My bad on that one. But that gun and the striker were the meta in the beta. Like everybody was using those two guns because they were just wrecking everything. The other good news is all unlocked attachments from Modern Warfare 2 weapons are also transferring over, and they're available to be used on Modern Warfare 3 weapons. So as we unlock attachment slots, we're already going to have a decent amount of attachments for these guns.
Thank God.
Yep, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, that's something like it was cool when they first released the way you get the attachments. Like you got to level up this gun and this gun.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you play around, but
we're not 100%. No one's 100% sure, but we're looking like it's probably going to be the same. It's going to be the same system.
That's kind of what I guessed with the way the beta was set up, and I was just like, man, because I missed just being able to grind a gun, unlock for that gun. Because then I get to choose. I don't have to be like, oh shit, I need that attachment, so I need to bring over to this gun. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be. We'll have to see how it goes, but at least we'll have a decent amount of attachments to start with. You know what I mean?
And it's a decent amount of attachments that you're used to already.
Yep. And if you're brand new to Modern Warfare 3 and you didn't play Modern Warfare 2, for the last year, all of the weapons from Modern Warfare 2 will be available to unlock with weapon challenges, like the ones that exist in Modern Warfare 2 right now from day one. So those weapons will be available to unlock. You just got to go through those weapon challenges and get them that way, which I think is fair. There's going to be all those weapons that will unlock from Modern Warfare 3 by leveling up normally, and then there'll be the bonus weapons for new people to unlock, which, yeah, that's a lot of work and a lot of weapons, but at least people will have them available. You know what I mean?
They have the ability.
Yeah, they have the ability to get them. All of our unlocked camos, including the event camos and any other special camos earned in Modern Warfare 2, are also carrying over, with the exception that those camos only work on Modern Warfare 2 weapons. And that's just going to be for the beginning. Who knows if they'll change that, but as of right now, those camos will only work on Modern Warfare 2 weapons, is what I found. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense just because of the coding. So, all the blueprints earned and bought will transfer over for your Modern Warfare 2 weapons, but obviously, same as the camos, those blueprints will only work on your Modern Warfare 2 weapons that they're unlocked for. Universal wraps. Now, they haven't been touched on too much, but we're assuming that those will be, transferred over, and you can use those wraps. The attachments are all universal across all weapons. So you should be able to use that attachment with a universal wrap on a weapon to build out your weapons, but we'll still have to see how that works. That's just in theory. Weapon accessories all carrying over, so your stickers, your charms, your gun screens, all that stuff, which I was happy about. I have tons of those that I really like, so I didn't want to lose them. All of our operators that we've unlocked or bought are carrying over to Modern Warfare 3. So the time exclusive skins from the store, like Black Noir, for example, they will transfer over. But if you didn't grab them, they will not be coming back. So any of those skins, like the Black Noir, those skins, the boys skins, those are all kind of exclusive to Modern Warfare 2. Those probably won't be making a comeback. So if you didn't grab them, sorry. But if you did, like I grabbed that Black Noir skin because I'm a pay-to-win asshole. I'm definitely going to use it to my advantage because that skin's amazing.
I'm sure they'll release like some Snake Eyes skin because they're talking about some G.I. Joe movie that they're going to revive or something. So another one will come.
G.I. Joe skins? I'm with it, okay? I love G.I. Joe. Yeah. I fucking love G.I. Joe.
I started that idea. You guys got to pay me money now. Call of Duty when you steal that.
Yeah. They're gonna pay you a okay.
High five through the mail.
Nah, dude, they're just gonna fuck you over in the game. You're welcome.
So your vehicle skins and war tracks are generally going to carry forward depending on what vehicles are the same from game to game. So we're not sure what vehicle list Modern Warfare 3 is going to have and how much it's going to match Modern Warfare 2. But if you have weapon war tracks and vehicle skins for those weapons that are in Modern Warfare 3, they should be there available for you to use. All of our calling cards and emblems that are unlocked will be there. Another big thing that I'm excited about. I hate losing those because I have tons of them that I like. XP tokens, that's another big thing. The XP tokens should be carrying over. As far as I could find, there was no denial of that. It looked like a promising thing that we're gonna see XP tokens carrying over, which is, I think, awesome news.
Yeah, that's great.
The Season 6 Battle Pass will be progressible until the launch of Season 1 of Modern Warfare 3 and the launch of the new Warzone sometime in December. So that gives whoever, you could buy the Season 6 Battle Pass right now and still have plenty of time to grind it out before it's done, because you can just keep playing on that Battle Pass in Modern Warfare 3 once that comes out. So if you're looking to get that Groot skin or some of the Spawn skins, you can still get those. That is the thing you can do.
Why are they calling it the Groot skin? That's not the name of it.
I know, but that's what everybody just call. That's like what we all call it, just because it's the tree. It's a tree person, and I don't know what the actual name is. I never looked at the name of the skin, so
Aya.
Is it Aya? Okay, I just call it dumbass Groot. I get mad. So
okay. Dude, I'll run the fuck out of it because you're running the fuck out of Black Noir while we're playing in night mode.
Yeah, but we're not enemies, okay? We're not enemies. We're friends. That's fine. If you want to run that skin, we're friends. That's fine. You can be harder to see. But every time I'm trying to snipe one of those little spindly see-through bastards, I have a hard time, okay?
Yeah, it's pretty tough. That one day that I played, I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, dude. It is. It's something else. It is kind of funny, though. Like, of course they did that.
Of course.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm pretty excited about, COD points that you have in the bank now will transfer as well. Side note, COD COD points will now carry over from game to game, but not carry over from platform to platform. Example, if you play on PlayStation and PC, your balances will be different. And that's the same for Xbox and PC as well. And Xbox to
That kind of makes
PS.
sense.
Yeah. They do the same thing in Fortnite. Your account, your balances are all different depending on where you play, but you can link all of your accounts and you can use all your skins and stuff and progress your shit. So
Yeah, that, like I said, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, the things that won't transfer lists that I could find were very, very short, and it's not even really anything that we won't. It's not even really anything that we care about. To be 100% honest, it wasn't anything that I cared about. Obviously,
Battle stats.
obviously the beta progression is not carrying over. We all know this. If you're an experienced Call of Duty beta player, if you've played all of the betas that have been out recently, like every time they drop them, you know your stuff isn't carrying over. Just the rewards that you earned from the little beta pass that was there. Any removed exclusive skins that we already talked about, they're not going to bring those back to the store, most likely. And we're uncertain about Modern Warfare 2 maps. We don't know what Modern Warfare 2 maps might transfer over. We did see the full list of Modern Warfare 3 maps, and they're all remastered OG 2009 Modern Warfare 2 maps, which I'm personally really, really excited about. A lot of those maps are my favorite Call of Duty maps of all time: High Rise, Favela, Estate. I could go on. I'm gonna have a great time in the multiplayer until freaking Warzone comes out. At least I know I'm going to, because it's gonna be a great time. But for Call of Duty, I think that's pretty much all the big news for Modern Warfare 3 that I got right now. That's like the big thing. Anybody got anything they want to add? Any concerns, questions?
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited also. Definitely a little nervous, but excited.
Yeah. Definitely have my questions for sure.
Yeah. I'm wondering one thing I've been thinking about is, with so many weapons in the game, I wonder what weapon balancing is going to be like.
Yeah.
You know, because we already see instances where the meta will sit, like a meta weapon will sit on top for a very long time, a longer time than most of us are, you know, like comfortable with or expecting it to sit. And now there's gonna be, you know, almost double that we're looking at, you know, the list increasing quite a bit, substantially. And so we're just going to end up with a whole nother mess of weapons that we're going to be, you know, having to level up, which I'm fine with. New camos to grind, all that good stuff. But then you end up with a meta weapon that might get left unnoticed or untouched for God knows how long, because that's just what's going on.
Yeah, there's some issues with maybe some of that, but it also might hopefully give more like meta options, I guess. Maybe there's like 5, 6, 7 guns that are kind of wrecking shit versus just 1 or 2.
That would be really cool. You know, and that's something else I did kind of think about, but it would be nice if they kept it that way. So like, if there is meta weapons, yeah, have it so that there's at least, you know, like, you know, 4 or 5 really good weapons that people want to use on a normal basis. Yeah, and that would at least make up for it. I have talked about this on stream, and I've talked about it a couple times. I'm really excited about the fact that one-shot snipers without explosive rounds are coming back. Some people might be upset about that, but I think that's going to make the game much more interesting, much more high stakes than it already is.
Yeah.
And as
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, and as a sniper, as someone who enjoys sniping very much, it's going to be a good time, I think. It's going to be a real good time. But for Modern Warfare 3, that's about all I got to talk about there. We can talk about Alan Wake a little bit.
Yeah, I want to hear about that for sure.
What do you want to know?
Before we hop too far into it, I just want to say, like, for people who are listening who don't know, it was released on October 27th for PC, PS5 and Xbox Series consoles at a price of $59.99. And if you didn't play the first game and you do have an Xbox, you want to play the first game, Alan Wake Remastered is 67% off in the Microsoft Store, sitting at a low price of $9.89 right now. So if
That
you
is
can,
so
pick that
worth
up.
it. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you can, pick that up. It is on sale for less than $10. I kind of want to pick it up, but I'm hoping the sale will last through till I get paid. So I've been thinking about picking it up and playing it through. So, especially the remastered version, I bet it looks great. So,
Yeah, remaster is definitely where it's at.
Nice.
And definitely you'll want to play the first because it does obviously tie into the second, like I mentioned earlier. It picks up 13 years later, so
I've seen that a lot.
Definitely. Go ahead.
I've seen that a lot on the internet. I've seen a lot of people saying that you want to play the first game before you play the second one.
Yeah, and I just got to where Alan Wake is now in the game, and I'm playing as him right now. So I'm not too far into the game, like maybe 4.5, 5 hours, but I'm a trophy whore when it comes to Alan Wake, so I've been like just walking around the map aimlessly looking for stuff. So a lot of it's spent looking around. So I'm not really far into the game.
Okay.
I was gonna say you're 4.5, 5 hours in, and you just got the canon title character.
Yep.
Holy shit!
It's like I think first one does chapters as well, so I think it would be like chapter 2, I want to say, maybe chapter 3, you finally play as Alan Wake.
Okay.
So the first couple you play as the new agent, the new protagonist, Saga Anderson, and she's just kind of basically a superhuman when it comes to solving cases. The tutorial is really cool. It kind of breaks down how she breaks down her cases. They call it the mindscape or mindspace. And through there, you just kind of piece together each case that you're working on. One of the collectibles I'm doing right now is the lunch boxes, which have like upgrade opportunities for your weapons. So I'm really trying to look for those. Like the cheapest thing to buy right now to upgrade was like 12. I don't even know what they're called. I'll call them fragments. It was like 12 fragments, and I found the biggest one I found was like 4. So it definitely takes a little bit to get enough to buy something. Once I got one, I found one worth 9. So I think maybe progressively, maybe it gets you find stuff worth a little bit more, or maybe the difficulty of finding it, maybe that varies on that. So lots of cool stuff, and I found locked boxes that I need to go back to later. So there's definitely like replayability as well, going back to old places that you already went through. So it's been a lot of fun, really, and it's absolutely terrifying.
It sounds like an interesting game. I've never played the first one, so it would be a first for me to play Alan Wake, the first one.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I booted up. I'm on the store right now. It's like $30 on PlayStation for the first one.
For the remastered
one. Yeah, the remaster is 30, and then 60 for just the standard edition Alan Wake 2. Not to mention the deluxe edition for 80, where you get the expansion pass, the Crimson Windbreaker for Saga, Celebrity Suit for Alan, Parliament Shotgun skin for Alan, and the Lantern Charm for Saga.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And it's really cool too. Like immediately the first game you play, or the second game, I mean, you play as the agent who's looking for Alan Wake in the first game. And he like is crawling out of the lake. That's the dark place. And you stumble upon like these cultists, and the game kind of takes a twist with that, with kind of a cult aspect behind it all. So it's super interesting, and like the whole encounter with Agent Nightingale is just insane for the first couple of chapters. So it's super worth it, and I'm just really looking forward to like where it takes me next.
Heck yeah. No, it's a spooky season for sure. I wanna play the Alan Wake games, but I've been eyeballing the freaking Resident Evil 4 remaster for a while, dude, and I really want that game. Resident Evil 4
Yeah, I've heard great things about that.
Resident Evil 4 is probably my favorite one of all of them. To be 100% honest, it's probably my
it's my
favorite one.
favorite.
And I really want to pick that one up because I did play the demo for the remaster when it was free on the store, and geez, it was cool. Like, I love what they did with the movement, and that's why Alan Wake kind of catches my attention, because I like the way the movement looks. Like, it looks like, to me, it looks like it feels like it feels like Resident Evil 4 Remastered did to me. Like, it's a little bit more smooth, and the third person shooting and gameplay looked good. So I was, that's something that caught my attention. I do enjoy a good third person game, no matter what it
Yeah,
is.
it's definitely similar in that aspect. A little smoother than like Evil Within, I would say, if
Okay.
anyone's played those. So it's definitely a nice in between.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the whole story is just nuts to start. Like, Nightingale dies and then comes back to life without a heart in his chest. It's fucking nuts, bro.
Definitely have to check that one out. I it definitely it's looking like a lot of people are liking it. The Metacritic scores on it have definitely come in good.
Oh my god, yeah.
The PS5, it's at an 88 right now, which I'm not 100% sure. I seen it at a 90 a couple days ago, and it's dropped by a couple points, so I'm not 100% sure why or what, but I don't, that doesn't really matter. But on PC, it's rated at 92. So it's definitely, it's coming in at a high rating. A lot of people are talking about it as their Game of the Year nominee now.
Yeah, that's nuts. I don't know if I'd put it that high, just with the hype around like Elden Ring, Hogwarts, Starfield. Those are some great games. So to have it up there, at least mentioned, is really cool.
Yeah,
Big fan of the games. So
we'll have to see. I mean, there's a very good possibility it's gonna happen that way.
it does have some crazy ratings. When I saw that, it's like nearly perfect scores across the board. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's super awesome.
Speaking of Game of the Year, there's one I believe should be an honorable mention. Joe dropped it in, kind of reminded me on it, and he's got some good points for it. And that would be Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yes, yeah, that's another one. Baldur's Gate.
We
A lot
have
of hype around that. Diablo 4 was another one.
It's one of those ones, like every other, like you were saying last episode, every other Game of the Year just seems to be like, just sneaks in from behind, and you don't even
this year
know about it.
This year was packed. This year was packed.
This year was packed, but I could see it coming out for Baldur's Gate 3 with some of the stuff that Joe was saying in the Discord. And it's virtually untalked about.
Yeah, it is virtually untalked about, but I mean, this year Baldur's Gate 3 is. I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means. It's 100%. It's done an amazing thing for the gaming community, but it's up against some heavy hitters this year. Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Elden Ring. It is up against heavy hitters. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I mean, when it comes down to video games, I know a lot more people who are playing games like Spider-Man than I know people who are playing turn-based RPGs like Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Baldur's Gate 3.
No, you're right.
That's just, you know what I mean? Like, and that's one of those things, like, it depends on who the judges are, who's judging the games, who's putting up the nominations for Keeley's Game of the Year, who's making those decisions behind the scenes. Like, there's so many different Game of the Year, different awards that come out near the end of the year. We're just going to have to see. Everyone really pays attention to Jeff Keighley's, and his judges kind of shock me sometimes. So we're just going to have to see what happens. I give a fair shot to any one of those games winning Game of the Year at this point.
No,
I really
absolutely.
do.
Absolutely.
I really do. It could be Baldur's Gate 3. It could be Tears of the Kingdom. It could be Spider-Man 2. It could be Alan Wake 2. It could be so many different games. So we're just going to have to wait and see. This year was so stacked. Personally, I don't think that Starfield is going to get a Game of the Year nomination. I don't. I love that game
That-
very, very
That'd be
much.
a bummer to not get at least a nomination. I think it at least deserves that. Like
I
we've named at least 7 just like solid games.
Yeah. Like I said on our last episode, or one of our last episodes, I love that game. I'm going to continue to put so many hours into that game. It'll probably never get deleted from my Xbox. But that doesn't mean that it's the best game ever made. I enjoy that game very much, but not everybody that I talk to loves it as much as I do. And that's okay.
For sure.
That's that's fine. Everybody has their cup of tea. It's just like, for me, like I'm waiting for Baldur's Gate 3 to come out on Xbox, and I'll definitely try it, but I have a hard time with turn-based stuff. I've always had a hard time with turn-based stuff. It's never been my cup of tea. It's never been my forte. Like every time I've tried to get into a turn-based game, even if I enjoy the story or the lore behind it, I find myself just becoming disinterested faster than I would like. If that
Yeah,
makes
I'm definitely
sense.
picky with turn-based games like Final Fantasy X, XCOM 2, and Front Mission 4 are the ones that come to mind when it comes to turn-based. I don't play any other turn-based games.
The only 2 turn-based games that I've sat down and played from start to finish, number 1 was Civilization Revolution 2 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Oh yeah, Civilization. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strange one, but it was more like a board game. It was it was kind of cartoonish. It wasn't very
Mhm.
like serious, and the game was really easily understandable, and I did enjoy that virtual risk like board game gameplay. I enjoyed that.
Mhm.
The other
For
turn-based
sure.
game that I have played that I played from start to finish that I enjoyed, actually I played it through twice from start to finish because I did it with 2 different characters, was The Stick of Truth. South Park's The Stick of Truth. And
Um,
Nice.
I do eventually plan
um,
on playing The Fractured Butthole. But
it's amazing.
yeah, I love South Park very much. That's the reason why I play those games, is
Yes.
because I love South Park
Yes.
so much. Um
Yep.
it's like playing a South Park movie, like a long South Park movie is what it is to me. So that to me it clicked my buttons. It was fun. I plan on doing that for stream because I think that would be a fun one for stream.
I started it when I first started back in January. I did a little bit of the Stick of Truth,
Yeah,
but I have both. I
yeah,
have both.
they're great games. The way they put those games together
Yeah.
is really something else. They're pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
I have, like I said, I have a hard time with turn based. I'm gonna give Baldur's Gate 3 a try. I do plan on purchasing it and giving it a try. Um, Even if I don't end up playing it all the way through or I lose interest, it's my money. I don't care about spending a little bit of cash on it to try it out. I would like to try it. You know what I mean? And probably by the time it comes out on Xbox, I might be able to get it, a little bit cheaper through one of
Probably.
those code places or something on the interwebs. Um,
Click in the logo, not on the logo. You
yeah.
like the dark web.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's definitely been interesting to watch the games come out this year and how, I mean, oh yeah, and I'm forgetting another huge release that came out this year,
Uh-oh.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
True.
I have played that game. I have access to it and it is fantastic. I am enjoying what they did with it. I've always enjoyed those Super Mario platformers. That's another genre of game that I've had a hard time getting into. Is platformers. There's a couple that I can, Ori, the first Ori game was really well done, I thought. And I didn't get all the way through the first Hollow Knight, but it definitely is a great game the way they put together Hollow Knight. But every time a new Super Mario Bros. Comes out, a platformer, a 2D one where you got to go from each little level to a new world, and then new level, new world. I love those for some reason. I think it's because that was like one
Where
of
it all started.
well, that's one of the first video games I ever played was
Yeah.
Super Mario Bros. On the
First fast travel.
the first fast, yeah, the fucking warp whistle, son. Man, you're a real
Oh
gamer. You're a
shit.
real gamer if you know how to get to the warp whistle without being told. Still to this day, because I can. I know where to get to the warp whistle, especially in Super Mario World 3, Super Mario Bros. 3. I know where that warp whistle is right away. I'm cheating my way
Amazing.
through.
Oh, fucking amazing.
But
Ugh.
so this year was stacked. That's the gist of it. Is this year gamers across all systems, PC, Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, we're all eating good right now. This has been one of
we
the
are.
honestly, this has been one of the best years in gaming that I can remember. I mean, there's so many games that have come out. It's some people are like don't even know where to start. You know?
Yeah, where do you think I am?
Exactly.
Yeah, especially if you're starting late. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's like, okay, I need to get onto this, but fuck, every time I get on, the squad's on, and we got to do fuck it.
Yep.
Warzone.
Yep.
Yep.
If Warzone takes precedent, you're boned. You're not playing any games ever.
No, basically, because at that point, like, well, to be fair, that's why I got in. That's why I started streaming. That's why I enjoy it. Is dude, just to hang out with the squad, to hang out
Yeah.
with the boys, to play, fuck it, right? Like that's the whole purpose, to build that community and everything. And so, yeah, if I have a chance to play with the friends, and it's got to be Warzone, because like I've said the entire time, unfortunately, it's the one game everyone pretty much can get that we play.
Yeah.
Yep, that takes precedent.
I mean, it's crossplay, everybody can play together, and like even if the game itself is giving us a bad time, every time we all play together, I always end up having such a good time.
Dude,
I
it's
always
so
end up
fun.
having such a good time when we're all playing together at the same time.
Right.
Like it's always something funny happening or just good games. And I feel like as a team, like between all of us, even though like, you know, we don't have a set squad of 4 people that play together, but we all kind of rotate out with each other, we've all gotten pretty decently good at playing amongst each other and our different squads, how we rotate everybody out. I feel like everybody's improved quite a bit. At least I feel like I have. Like I've gotten way better at Warzone just playing this game so much with you guys. So I enjoy playing this game, and I the sniping, man, like even though it's the shitty explosive rounds is the only way you can get one shot headies. Lately, dude, I've been smacking some good headshots, and every time I get a good headshot, it's just so satisfying, dude. You see that little knock symbol come up next to the hit marker right after the shot, and you're just like, yeah,
Yep.
sucker, yeah, gotcha.
That's awesome.
But you know, I'm excited for more Call of Duty. I can't believe how close it is. Honestly, that came much faster than I thought it was going to. I wasn't really paying attention to how fast time was going, but now it's just here all of a sudden.
Right.
So we're definitely gonna have the multiplayer. I'm pretty excited for, honestly. The fact that we can have a 6-man team and we can get 6 of us all together playing COD, which is pretty much everybody in our little club that likes to play COD hardcore.
Right.
We're gonna run some
Yeah.
we're gonna run some lobbies for a little while. That's gonna be fun.
Yep. I'm gonna get flashbacks. It's gonna be nice.
Flashbacks to Nom.
Let's see. Okay. There was another game I wanted to bring up and touch on real quick. The finals beta went live on October 25th. And it's free to play. And it's for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles. Interesting game. I played it for a little bit on stream the other day. I don't know if either of you guys caught any of that at all. Fully destructible environments. Super interesting with that. Like, I mean destructible. Like, shit blows up and it collapses. Like, old school Battlefield 3 style collapses. It's crazy to watch.
Nice.
The shooting and the movement feels a little strange to me just because we've all been playing so much Warzone.
Right.
The character feels so much more light and floaty in the finals. It's really kind of strange to me. Like, I feel like in Call of Duty when you're sprinting and you're running, it's not like you can feel it by any means, but like, you know, there's a little bit more impact with the sounds and the way the camera moves and stuff. With the finals, it's very smooth and floaty, which I know some people probably really like. I was watching Joe Woe play it the other day, and he was saying that the movement was insane. I think he really likes it. And, you know, to each their own. I think that game's got a little bit more to go. I don't like the TTK with the assault rifles. They got 3 different body sizes, and so and for characters in that game, so you never really know what you're going to end up against. Like, you got the medium sized character the small character and the large character, and it's kind of all health. It's health and movement based. So your large character is a large tanky person. They can't move very fast, all that stuff. Um, and then the medium character is kind of the best of both worlds. You have a decent amount of health, but you can still sprint pretty fast and climb stuff and maneuver around. And then the small characters, your fast run and gun, guerrilla tactics character. You want to do damage and get out and hide. But you can move really fast. You can jump higher and stuff like that. But with just the basic assault rifle, the AKM that they give you in the beginning, the TTK is so slow. It feels like, and it feels like the weapon's kind of a pea shooter. Like I put on the revolver pistol, and I felt like I was doing more damage with the revolver pistol than I was a full bore assault rifle, which I don't really like. Like sure, it's a 357 Magnum, but why do I feel like I'm doing so much more damage with this when I'm full auto hitting someone with an assault rifle and I feel like I'm pea shooting them on the side? I'm gonna smoke this weed. Give me just a second.
Of course. Dude, okay, so there's something I want your guys' take on it, because I don't know how I feel about it. Not that it really matters to me, but I like to call it stupid moves.
Okay.
And that is this addable disk drive for the PlayStation Slim.
We can talk about that for sure, because I got some feelings on it. You see,
is it just me, or is it fucking stupid?
No, it's a ripoff.
It's fucking stupid.
Not only did they increase the digital price of the PlayStation 5 by $50, so it's no longer $400, it's $450 for the new PS5 digital Slim. But then you have to pay another $80 for the attachable disk drive that you have to be connected to the internet to hook up to your console.
And if you want to stand, you got to pay $30 for the stand.
Yep. So at the end of the day, you buy a PS5 digital and decide, oh, I want to play discs on it. You go buy yourself a disc drive. Oh, I don't like the way it sits. I need a stand. You just spent yourself
$560.
Yeah, you just spent yourself $560 on a digital PS5 that's supposed to be cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's the exact, like, the one bonus about the PS5 disc and digital is between the disc drive and non-disc drive, the console is essentially the exact same. There is no downgrade in any of the performance or any of that stuff like the Xbox consoles. That is, the Xbox Series X is the big boy, and then the Series S is that small one with a downgraded specs. And so it doesn't, it's not as powerful as the Series X. But it is significantly cheaper. It is $300. It's the price of a brand new Xbox One back in the day. That's what I remember paying for an Xbox One back in the day was $300.
There you go.
So, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I was not super amused that PlayStation did that. Xbox is on a shitty too. I forgot to save that article in the notes, but Xbox increased their prices in Brazil by like 47%.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like
for like subscriptions or games or
for
what?
everything. Games.
Whoa.
Yeah, tons of stuff, dude. It's kind of a big. They increased prices for Activision games on Steam stores in different countries as well. Like Microsoft's been on some shit, dude. They increased a lot of prices around the globe.
Jeez.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yep.
Can't even have fun anymore. It costs too much.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. This, like, I mean, at the point that, we're all at when it comes to video games and gaming, we've all spent a good amount of money and time investing into our setups because this is what we do on a normal basis. This is our hobby.
Yeah.
Right.
But, for the average person, for a mom working a 9 to 5 or whatever have you in another, especially down in a country like Brazil, like, I'm not trying to make any assumptions here, but I'm assuming that not everybody there is doing great and their economy is not doing great. If the price of a series, I'm going to pull this up just so I'm not talking out my ass, but I seen it the other day on Twitter. The the price of a Series S, the Series
It'd be like
S.
what, 500?
No, it was like 700 something.
Oh wow,
Yes.
that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was kind of a big
I'm back,
deal. I'm trying to
going back
Yeah.
to the scalpers when the next gens first came.
yeah.
Fuck,
That's
man.
crazy.
Okay, so Xbox is raising the price of its Xbox Series S in Brazil, reducing its appeal to the cheaper alternative, the Xbox Series X. The Series S is a budget version. Blah blah blah. Continue reading. Where's the prices?
I'm excited for that movie Beekeeper.
Here it is.
It's really gonna hold some light on some scams.
Okay, so however, much of the appeal is being diminished in Brazil thanks to the Xbox Series S's impending price hike there. Local outlet The Enemy broke the news, which has later reported by Windows Central, revealing that the console will now cost 3,599 in Brazilian real, around 710 US dollars. A sharp increase from the original price range of around 2,500 Brazilian reals. For comparison, that's about the same price as the original digital edition PlayStation 5. It should be noted that this price bump will only affect the standard 512 gigabyte Series S in the region and not its more recent 1 terabyte model. Wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. So you're
So you're
telling
paying
me
more for less?
that you're charging that much more money for less memory, but they're charging the same price that they were originally for the black 1 terabyte model. That's so fucking backwards. What is going on?
That's weird.
That's
There's got to be a reason for that. That is so.
whatever reason. It's a that's a that's I don't even care. That's asinine. That's moronic. I can't even believe I just read
Oh,
that.
I would 100%. It is
Yeah,
fucking
that's weird.
moronic. What I'm saying is Microsoft. That seems a little too stupid for Microsoft.
Yeah. Speaking of Microsoft, we can talk a little bit about Joe shared an article about it. Um but this was kind of big news for Xbox. They restructured their leadership in kind of a big way.
Mm-hmm.
So Phil Spencer is still the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. Okay, and underneath him now, Sarah Bond was just promoted to president of Xbox. She was previously a corporate VP at Xbox. She's now in charge of hardware and software platforms. Matt Booty was also promoted to president of game content and studios. He's now going to be overseeing ZeniMax and Xbox studios together. So that Xbox main studio and ZeniMax will be working more closely together as a team, and Matt Booty will kind of be in charge of all of that stuff. But inside of ZeniMax, like ZeniMax is still kind of like Matt Booty's in charge when it comes down to it. The hierarchy would be Phil Spencer and Matt Booty answers to Phil Spencer, and then ZeniMax answers to Matt Booty, but ZeniMax still kind of has its own structure inside, and they'll still kind of be, they're kind of still given more independence than the other studios, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then Microsoft changed up some of their marketing stuff. Amy Silverman, which a lot of people probably don't know who that is, but I just got her name from the article. She headed up a consumer sales organization, the CSO. They've been moved under gaming, and she's now going to be reporting directly to Phil Spencer. Her main goal, what she does is she kind of is in charge of like consumer products and all things gaming, and she's going to be in charge of attracting new audiences, so marketing, like advertisements, that kind of stuff. And then I got a for sure date on the departure of Bobby Kotick. He will be stepping down starting January 1st of 2024, so they're getting rid of this guy as fast as they possibly can.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Wow.
So that was some big stuff for Microsoft. They've been moving around all that stuff. And then a little thing about Sony. The rumors have been all over the place. Sony's had some turbulence inside PlayStation as of recent. A long time Sony employee Connie Booth. She'd been there for a couple decades, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look it up and find it. But the rumors are from David Jaffe, who is a ex God of War Twisted Metal dev. And he's got his own YouTube channel. Pretty awesome guy to listen to. Um, he's getting reports from people that he knows who still work inside PlayStation that Connie Booth was fired. She was not. She did not quit. She did not retire. That she was fired. And so, there's been a lot of rumors coming out from Sony as of recent. Someone by the name of Herman, I'm not 100% sure, but it's another one of the higher ups. There's a lot of rumors spreading about he was talking about wanting to cut the Japan studios. There's been some stuff going on inside. Apparently, a lot of the devs are not super happy with the direction that Sony has taken with the games as a service model that they've really been pushing towards. If you look at their budget, they've put a lot of their budget, a big portion of it, towards games as a service, and a lot of people inside are apparently not happy about that. Which I don't blame them. Games as a service can be cool sometimes, but PlayStation is known for great single player games, and
yeah,
it's sad. I want them to be able to make a multiplayer shooter too. I can tell you that I spent a lot of time playing Killzone, and I really enjoyed Killzone, and the multiplayer for Killzone was fun. At least I thought it was. I wish they could have done something with those games, but I don't understand why that went the way it did. It would be great to see PlayStation come out with something, like Halo, an exclusive multiplayer shooter to get people, excited about that, because the single player games, they got them on lock. I love Uncharted. I love Spider-Man. Ghost of Tsushima was great. Days Gone is great. I could go on. The single player games.
God, that game needs a sequel.
Yeah, that game does need a sequel. But I could go on about those games. There's tons of great ones, but it's unfortunate because I hate forcing developers to do things that they don't like. I don't think is a good thing because it makes for shitty games, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna show.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna show.
Absolutely.
It's definitely gonna show. But we'll see. We'll just have to see. You never know. There could be a hidden gem in there somewhere. Maybe there's a group of guys inside of PlayStation that are finally like, yes, we can make the game we've been waiting for.
Right.
That would be.
What if
sweet.
What if PlayStation catches lightning in a bottle like Fortnite did? Like, people can say what they want about Fortnite, but they caught lightning in a bottle, man.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, that game was revolutionary.
Yeah, exactly. And let's not forget, here in just a couple days. Matter of fact, Fortnite's pulling kind of a shitty. If I remember, it's on the 2nd. On the day that campaign early access for COD comes out, the OG Chapter 1 map is coming back to Fortnite, which I personally know got me kind of hyped. When I seen that, I was like, yo, what? Like, you tell me.
I was hyped until I saw that they're kind of reverting all the features back too. So there's no running, there's no sliding. Like, it's literally, you're going backwards. It doesn't make sense.
Well, I heard that they're keeping all that stuff.
Oh, that's not what I heard.
Oh, see, I'm gonna have to do some research because I seen that they were keeping the mantling and all that stuff for Chapter 1. I heard they were keeping that stuff.
Nice. Well, that would be cool. I don't know, man. Like, why do we have to go back? Why can't we just have about 4 or 5 maps to switch from? I fucking hate these people.
I mean, they're gonna if they revert it back to Chapter 1 play style, people are gonna be pissed because they've already given so much stuff. Whoa, here it is. Yeah, you are right. Update: Fortnite confirms sprinting and mantling not being removed. Not being removed from Chapter 1 map return. Sick.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Fortnite is set to return to Chapter 1 in the next major update, but will mantling and tactical sprinting make a jump back in time with us? Yes, it will be. Fortnite will not be removing mantling and sprinting for Chapter 1. Initially, leaks suggested that this would be the case, but the official Fortnite X account has now revealed that both mechanics will remain in the game for the new season. Sprint.
So that's cool.
And here's the post.
That just seems like you're going backwards.
And here's the post on Twitter. Sprint, and then in parentheses, it says, or mantle, your choice. Back to Chapter 1. See you 11. Oh, it's the day after the campaign early access. So it's 11/3/23.
Oh, okay. I just want there to be options for people. I get so frustrated because we're like, oh, we have to do this map for fucking the next 9 months. No other map can exist. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I will agree on that one.
That it would be nice to have Fortnite rotate through maps too, just because they've had some really dope additions to their maps and some dope versions. But that's kind of the thing
Yeah.
is the Fortnite put themselves in that corner with the way that they do their story and the way it affects
Yep.
the map every season. So they can't really
Right.
do anything because they have to leave the map that way for the story and for the challenges and stuff, which makes sense.
Yeah, the way they do it is definitely like that. But I just, oh my god, man, like Call of Duty especially. Like, why are we still not playing on Verdansk?
Well, that's and
and
not
it's
to get.
only available on mobile. Like, get out of here.
We'll talk about the rumor mill real quick one more time. That is the rumor that is going around the COD community is that Verdansk will be available near the beginning of Warzone of the new Warzone in season 1. They're gonna have a Verdansk. They're gonna bring Verdansk back. So
I bet it's altered.
I mean,
I mean,
I would assume it's
I mean-
altered as well. I would assume it's altered as well, just because they're
Oh.
definitely not going to leave it the exact same. But it would be cool to see Verdansk in a new engine, because it's a different engine, so they're going to have to do some stuff different to it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I would definitely be interested to see what we're going to end up with.
I know a lot of people were teasing from the trailer that they were seeing the guard tower from the fortress in Verdansk.
Yep.
But they were
Yep.
also talking about the fact that it was a lot shorter than it was.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah, and prison was also in that initial trailer too.
That's what I mean. The prison. The
Oh,
prison.
okay,
Fortress,
yeah.
Fortress, I'm thinking about Almazra. But yeah, the prison. They talk about how they see the wall of the prison and they come up, but then they mention that that's a lot shorter than it was.
yeah,
Because the prison used to sit up kind of on that cliff.
well
Yeah, and
the
there was
thing
a
is,
version with the when the zombie updates came out, and I think there was a hole on the wall. I don't remember exactly, but when the zombie thing was there, prison was updated as well.
well, the big thing for me is that I noticed, and this is the impression I've been under with these games, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty avid about playing the campaign for the Call of Duties as they come out. I do enjoy the campaign, the stories.
Mhm.
With Modern Warfare 2000, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, the first one back in the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Right.
That story involved you meeting Soap and Captain Price for the first time. Okay, you played through
Mhm.
that game.
True.
Modern Warfare 2, you played as Soap and another character. You rescued Captain Price from the Gulag, if you remember correctly, that crazy ass mission on the helicopters. You fly in on the little birds.
Yeah.
It's dope as hell, right? You do that, but at the end, Shepard fucking murders the shit out of most everybody and fucking gets away, or for the most part, until you go get his ass, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with Modern Warfare 2019, from what I understood, at first they tried to say it was like a prologue, and I was like, well, that doesn't really make sense because here's Captain Shepard, right? It's a different person. It doesn't look like the OG Captain Shepard. So from what I gathered, they kind of ended up making it like a whole new, like a reboot, if you will, of the universe, because in Modern Warfare 2000 and Modern Warfare 2, you end up getting betrayed by Shepard again, but there's a new character who also is in on the betrayal with you. And no one dies this time.
Not yet.
No, but Shepard's dead. I killed that bastard.
True. No.
So
no, true. It
Yeah.
is a parallel timeline.
Yeah,
it is a
so-
parallel universe.
So that's the thing, is they could bring Verdansk back, but like Kyle said, I'm assuming it's gonna be altered. Maybe it won't. Maybe they won't bring it back, and it'll just be a whole different gulag because they've already changed the story. So if we
True.
haven't even, they've already changed the story this much. What other changes are we looking at? Like, they're in all new territory. They don't have to do anything now. They can do what they want with this story. So we have to see
very
what they're gonna do. I think that
It'll definitely get altered. I just like to suit the new mechanics and stuff. I don't want like too big of changes to the layout, I guess,
Yeah, no, I get you on that one, because it was a great map. The layout of that map was
Mhm.
it was a great map. So we'll have to see what happens with that. That's about, but yeah, that's big for the rumors. And I think that's about all I got for games. Anybody else got any little games or anything they want to throw in?
For games, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, not really.
Spider-Man 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game ever.
Oh yeah. 2.5
Yeah, other
million
than
in
that,
24
really-
hours. That was pretty
True.
crazy actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's cool, but that's really it.
I am gonna again. Yes, I'm a PlayStation user. No, I don't fucking worship them. 2.5 million out of 40 million, though. I mean, I'm part of the ones that don't have it, so only like what is that, like 6% on
Yeah.
a game that was anticipated so big. I kind of would have expected maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still huge. Give where credit's due, but you're talking 6% on a game that was anticipated because the first game was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that following. Then you got the following that's gained in from the Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could tell you this: my daughter is stoked for it, and she didn't play the first one. She started at Miles Morales because that's when she got into the Spider-Man with this whole Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, the Spider-Man remastered is 110% worth picking up if she hasn't played that game.
100.
I bought it for
100.
my coworker Jim because he's a huge comic book nerd and he's a much more casual game player.
Right.
Then he plays when he can. He's much more casual than we are. But that
Yeah.
he still enjoys the games and he'd never played the Spider-Man game. Still, it was like last year he had never played it and I was like, dude. I found it on sale on Amazon, so I bought it for PS4 and gave it to him. And he's told me he loves that game. He enjoys it so much. I was like, dude, yeah, I told you, I told him because I was like, dude, Jim, I know how big of a fan of Spider-Man and comic books you are. You need to play that game. Like, you need to play that game.
Big time.
But we can transition into movies and TV because I got a couple things I'd like to talk about there. Unfortunately, my notes I think I accidentally deleted my notes when I was deleting messages like a dumbass.
Oh shit.
But the first thing I'd like to talk about, which I thought was really cool, is Daniel Radcliffe is teaming up with his one of his stunt doubles from the Deathly Hallows Part 1 for a documentary. And I didn't know about this, but apparently the stunt double, his name is David. I'm trying to find it right now.
I saw what you're talking about.
Yeah, his name is David something. I'm trying to find it right now. But he
Let's see,
was
it's in live action.
yeah, he was in the fucking Deathly Hallows Part 1. David Holmes. He was paralyzed from the chest down in an accident in 2010. And
Performing a stunt, right?
performing a stunt for Harry.
Movie.
And they're gonna make a documentary about the accident and everything that happened afterwards.
Yeah.
This should be pretty cool.
I think that should be really interesting to watch. I did not realize that happened on the set.
Me
And
either.
just recently recently with the death of Michael Gambon, I've been thinking about Harry Potter quite a bit. I've been wanting to watch it.
Mhm.
It makes me sad. Three great actors and three of my favorite people in the Harry Potter series have all passed away.
Yeah.
Michael Gambon. I always
there's
forget that guy's name. The guy who played Snape.
Oh God, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, thank you, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, and forgive me, I can't remember the actor's name of Hagrid either.
Oh fuck, what was his name?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, thank you. My
Dude, yeah,
laptop sucks.
There's so many that were in that show and have passed. I can't.
Nope, they were all
even begin to just. I know, like, the guy who played all the goblins.
Robbie Coltrane.
Robbie Coltrane.
That's Hagrid.
Thank you. I was just getting there myself. My PC was being a little slow for me. That's three great actors that we've lost, and all from the Harry Potter series. It makes me sad, but they will live forever with those movies because I will never stop watching them. I will never stop watching them.
100%.
Straight up. In fact, the other day, because it is Halloween season, the other day, we watched Sweeney Todd for the first time with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
And Rickman came on as
Yeah.
the judge, and I was like, oh, my heart hurts. Snape.
Yep.
And then like I was watching The Lord of the Rings, same thing with Christopher Lee.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
all these greats are we're at that point now.
Yeah, we're
Dude,
getting
Christopher
old.
Lee had a crazy life.
Dude,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real.
He was a spy in Europe.
Sure, Christopher Lee to you.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, that.
Yeah, dude.
Do you ever
The
see
guy
that
was a
interview?
beast.
Wasn't he?
Did you ever see the interview
Wasn't he
where?
anointed?
Yeah, he was. Dude, Christopher
Okay.
Lee was a pimp. There was a great interview where they were talking. That it was on the set of Lord of the Rings, and the director was talking to Christopher Lee, and he was like, "I need you to, make the sound of you getting stabbed in the back. And I need you to go, oh." And Christopher Lee goes, "Well, that's not what it sounds like when someone gets stabbed in the back. It's more of you lose the air out of your lungs," and he like makes the sound. And the director goes, How do you know that so well?" It's something along those lines. And Christopher Lee is like, "You don't need to worry about it. Like, that's not what it sounds like. I know it. I know what it sounds like." And I was like, "Yo, that guy's done some shit."
Yeah.
That
So-
motherfucker went to war.
Yeah, Christopher Lee,
Yeah.
what a life that guy led. But
Mhm.
those are some of the and speaking of actors passing away, I'll bring this up. Sad
Yeah.
news for those who didn't see it. It was just announced yesterday. Matthew Perry, Friends star. He was also the voice of Benny and Fallout. I believe it was New Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he passed away at 54. He was found dead in his hot tub in his LA home. Some things I have heard, this is just what I've heard so far, but I heard that he drowned. They're putting his death to drowning, and they found him in his hot tub, which I'm sorry to, like, I know that Matthew Perry's had some history with addictions in his life, but I find it really fishy that a 54-year-old man drowned in his hot tub at his own house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what comes out of those reports and just wait and see.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna
Except
tell
a
you
little
what,
weird.
I'm gonna tell you what the reports say, and the reports are gonna say the same thing that they say on everybody. He was drunk and high and lost conscious and drowned.
Yep, and I'm assuming that's what they're going to end up saying. Well, they said they found no drugs around him or no drugs on the scene in the article that I read.
Yeah, but
Let me pull this up.
I will say, I have taken a too hot of bath before and passed out from heat stroke.
Oh,
So-
I will agree. Me and
That's-
the boys back in high school used to hot tub drink all the time, and it was one beer hit you harder than two.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
it can definitely happen, but a big name like that, it is suspicious.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely something I didn't think about. Is what if the hot tub was just too hot and he crawled in there and passed
And
out
stayed
and
in there
drowned?
too long.
Yeah.
Didn't have water. Yeah. Who
That's-
knows?
that's the unfortunate part. And that's what like I mentioned last night on stream, Chowders. Has he had his fingers in anything recently? Or last I knew, he's just trying to keep his ass clean.
Yeah. Well, I know that
Yeah,
he's
I thought he was good to go now, but
yeah, like
I don't know.
I seen that he had talked about before the Friends reunion that he had been open about the fact that he had relapsed like quite a few times.
yeah.
Quite a
Yeah,
few times.
He was, and he's been open about it. Yeah, pretty much about the time that they announced the reunion, he really started to turn around, get his shit together
Mhm.
for that and everything, and he came out open about everything.
Yeah.
Because he did after Friends, like he did a couple little things here and there, but he kind of fell off.
Mhm. So who knows? I hope that we'll hear more about it and that it's not something fishy that everybody has to be sus about. And I hope that best of, or I should say, best wishes or all the love to the family. I'm sure his mom and dad are still alive. I read in the report that they were some of the first family members on the scene. So much
Damn.
that sucks.
That really sucks.
Yep. Parents shouldn't have to
No.
bury their kids. It doesn't matter how it goes. Parents shouldn't have to bury their
Yeah.
kids. So
That's tough.
No.
And he's got and all the
go
neighbors
ahead.
around him. The LA Times interviewed quite a few of the neighbors around him, and all of his neighbors had nothing but nice things to say about Matthew Perry, saying that he was a great guy. He was always really nice every time they stopped to talk to him. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he may have had his run-ins with his shit in the past, but anything I've ever seen, I mean, he's been, he'll talk shit about himself and he'll be hard on himself, and rightly so if that's how you feel. But no, everything I've ever seen, he's a fucking stand-up hell of a dude.
yep. It's too bad he was taken too soon. Taken too soon.
Big time.
Yeah.
The other one, and this one kind of is a little bit of old news, just popped into my head, kind of along the same lines. Is did you guys see the few weeks ago the update on Bruce Willis and his degeneration condition?
No,
Yes.
I did not see that.
He's no longer communicative.
Oh, that's so sad,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah, it really sucks.
yeah.
Bruce Willis is a
no longer
legend, and
communicative.
that sucks, dude. I feel really
Yeah.
bad for his family and his wife and everything.
Yeah.
That sucks because that
Mhm.
I've watched every single movie that guy has put out.
Oh,
I'm a child. I am a
Yeah.
child of the '90s and of the early
Yep.
2000s. My dad
Mhm.
owns every cheesy action movie that you could possibly even name right now, and
As every dad should have.
Yep, and I love Bruce Willis's
real.
movies. I've watched Die Hard, the Die Hard series, more times than I can count. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, will still be one of my favorite things to say before I do something stupid for the rest of my life.
And then yes, it is a Christmas movie.
Yep, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I'll die on that hill.
You're dying against him then, because did you not see what he came out? It was fuck, it must have been like an award show or something like that. He comes on and he's like doing his little speech and he goes, "Oh, and by the way, Die Hard is not a fucking Christmas movie."
I don't care what
And
he
he
says.
just
It
ends
is
it.
a Christmas movie.
It
It is a
is.
Christmas movie.
It's set in Christmas. It's literally a Christmas movie.
He saves the day and saves Christmas on Christmas Day. You can't.
Yeah. What's more holy than that?
And then here's a big kick in the pants. What time does the second one happen during? Huh?
Oh yeah.
Ah!
Literally after, yeah.
I'm with you, dude. I just think it's so funny how he literally came out and he's just like, "It is not a fucking Christmas movie," and then he just walks off.
He's wrong. Love Bruce
He
Willis.
is a little wrong.
But he's wrong.
He's slightly wrong.
And
He's slightly
also,
wrong.
big shout out to one of my personal, like, I don't know if it's my personal favorite of all the Die Hard series. It's probably number 2, but the fourth one. I don't know why, but I love the fourth one so much with what's his face in it. Guy with the long hair, little hacker dude. I can't remember what his name is right now.
Oh god.
Oh god. Hold on, let me look.
I
I
know.
don't remember. I haven't watched like the other like 3 movies in forever.
Live Free or Die Hard. That was the
Oh my
name of the
God.
fourth one, and I love that one. Justin Long, or no, that was his
Oh,
name,
yeah.
and it was Matt
Yeah, yeah.
Farrell. His name in the movie was Matt Farrell, and it's Justin Long, and that guy's little geeky face
I forgot about it.
running around with Bruce Willis and watching him take down helicopters with cars I love that. I loved it during the entire time.
I forgot he was in that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a
Kevin Smith is in that?
yeah. It's a great movie, dude. It's a great movie.
That's nuts.
Live Free or Die Hard was one of my favorites because it was like not only was he fighting a bad guy, but he was saving almost the entire United States at the same time. John McClane, the hero we all needed.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis has got some funny parts in that movie. Like, there's a part where he's inside of this gigantic cooling tower at this fucking computer facility, and he's fighting this like crazy dude who's like running around. He's like super acrobatic, and he's like beating the shit out of Bruce Willis for a second, and Bruce finally gets the gun and he's like trying to shoot him, and this dude's like like just a ninja. He's like swinging his way around all these different pipes inside this cooling tower, and fucking Bruce just starts screaming. He's like, goddamn gerbil, stand still. I fucking laughed so hard the first time I seen that, dude, because it's just like, I related so much to that. Just like getting so frustrated after you've missed 4 or 5 shots. You're like, son of a bitch. So funny, dude. I was laughing so hard. Bruce Willis is, I think he's hilarious when he gets mad. That's the whole, when he gets mad, I laugh. I don't know what it is about that guy, but I know a couple people who do that, and every time that, like, when they get mad, I laugh because I don't know what it is about them being mad. It just makes me makes me laugh, and I hate doing that to people because I'm sure it's annoying. But son of a bitch, I can't help it, dude. I know a couple people in real life that I get that reaction all the time. Like, you get mad, I kind of have to, like, stifle my laughter. Like, I'm sorry, you're just kind of funny when you're mad.
Those are my favorite people.
But yeah, Bruce Willis has always been my favorite for that. That's really sad that he's uncommunicative at this point.
Yeah.
There was a rumor floating around for a while that apparently he had signed over his likeness to an AI or something like that, but it was debunked shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, I thought was kind of interesting at first. I was like, I mean, that's kind of, I mean,
If you're willing to do it, sure.
I mean, like, if you could, since it's your likeness, if you could find a way to, like, trademark it and then sell it off and collect the royalties on it as Bruce Willis, your family would be set up for the rest of your life, for the rest of their lives, and continuing on. You'd never have to worry about your family again. And then people would just pay whatever that account is for your likeness, for your AI likeness and voice, and then that's that.
And I think right now, it's even with that deal, it's just a consent and maybe like a lump sum up front, and then that's it.
See, and it would be a better deal if it was a, royalty system. Yeah. So every, people got, they could continue to make a percentage off of whatever it was used in if it continued to make money.
Yeah. And I don't know any actors that have actually consented to that. So.
I mean, that's a pretty new thing, and so I'm sure a lot of people are pretty nervous about that. That's a pretty new it's a pretty new concept.
You need some lawyers involved.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal, man. That's something that you don't, something I wouldn't want to mess with. That's a sticky thing to talk about. And then let's see. Another movie I wanted to talk about that I'm pretty excited to watch because I'm a history buff is Napoleon. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer. I'm sure you guys have obviously both seen the trailers then. If you haven't seen the trailer, for those who are listening, go look it up on YouTube. Joaquin Phoenix making a comeback as, an amazing actor that he is. He's going to come back and make another great movie for us to watch. And this, to me, really just, it ticks the right buttons because I'm just ready to I'm ready to watch that movie. I love history. Napoleon has always fascinated me just because the whole French conflict is always, that French Revolution conflict has always been interesting to me.
After learning, so I listened to this podcast, Real Dictators on Spotify, and they break down the lives of rulers and quote unquote dictators. I mean, fuck, it was like 40 something episodes for Hitler alone. But Napoleon's story, just the fact that he was not like an actual Frenchman and he started out nothing and built up and led 2 revolutions and had to get banned to some island in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, that guy was
kind of tells you something about this dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch that movie because it definitely looks good. And Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor, so
yeah, he's great. So
he
should be good.
Yeah, that role, he should play that. And Ridley Scott is directing the movie, so pretty excited about that. I think it's gonna be a great movie.
It should rival like Napoleon, or not Napoleon, Oppenheimer.
Ooh. So we're expecting, with it being a Ridley Scott and set in old Europe, I'm expecting a Russell Crowe cameo to come out of nowhere and Photo Gladiator feels. I mean, that's just what I'm gonna expect.
That's funny.
That'd be hilarious.
Gladiator. I mean, good movie. Not personally one of my favorites. I just kind of get bored with the story.
Hey, Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix is also in that movie.
Correct. That's my point. That's my point. That's it's like Tim Burton and Johnny Depp.
Oh
They're
yeah.
always in it.
Oh yeah.
You know, big
Oh,
time.
yeah.
So, but there is a certain cinematography with Ridley Scott movies that you just watch and you're like, yep.
Freaking
Yep. Just like
Brad Pitt and what's his face? I can't remember.
I'm not a Brad Pitt fan.
Dude, I've watched so many of God, I cannot remember the guy who the movie the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What's that director's
I
name?
love Brad Pitt. What are you talking about? The one who directed it?
Yeah, what's that director's name? I'm blanking on it right now. I just listened to half of the podcast. He was on Joe Rogan. I cannot believe I cannot remember his name.
What are you doing right now?
Hold on. I'll remember it in just a second.
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Once upon a time.
Oh, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
duh.
Quentin Tarantino.
Wow.
I feel like Brad Pitt is in so many of his movies, dude. Like,
I think he is in a few, yeah.
Yeah,
I
dude.
think I can agree on that
Especially like
one.
mid-2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like Brad Pitt?
There's something about him. I like some of his movies, but I don't necessarily like everything that he does.
Sorry, I'm offended.
I'm
Sorry.
offended.
Be offended.
I have to say,
I have a man crush on him, so I love all of his shit.
I have to say, I don't have a man crush on Brad Pitt, but I do like his movies. I love the roles that he's played. Fight Club is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Mhm.
I will give
The
you
Ocean's
that.
movies. Yep.
Yep.
Like I said, he puts out good movies. I just don't.
Inglorious Bastards, motherfucker!
Inglourious
I love
Basterds.
that movie, dude.
It was a good. Okay, I mean, like I said,
He's an A-list actor, so obviously he's in good movies. But I can see what you're saying. Like, there's some actors that I just don't vibe with.
Yeah,
I just
yep. I feel that way about Marky Mark. I'm not a huge fan of Mark Wahlberg. I just don't vibe with that dude.
see, now I'm.
He plays the
offended.
same role all the time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, you're all right. He's got the Boston accent.
And
down.
also,
Yeah.
I just have to say, after watching, my aunt used to watch. There was a TV show called Wahlburgers, and it's about
Yep.
his brother
Yeah.
who owns a burger shop. And after watching the way Mark just comes in there and acts, I think he's a douche. I would say that. I'd say that to his face. I really don't care what happens. I think he's a douche.
You're probably not wrong.
So,
I mean, I will say a couple of things. I do know, like, before he got into the music career, him and his brothers were real fucking bad in their neighborhood. Apparently, he called himself out on this one, and he somewhat made right by it. But I will say this: he knocked a Vietnamese kid in the face so hard that he shattered the guy's eye socket.
Jesus.
So later in life, he did end up paying to have to let this guy get reconstructive surgery. He helped the guy out. Like, he made amends, but
I mean,
he had a
turbulent past.
he
Hey, man.
he
Yeah,
was
we're
the
all
definite.
young and dumb.
Yeah, I watched something on the Wahlburgers, and they were talking about it, and the four brothers were sitting down talking, or maybe it was just three of them. It was, what is it, the chef, and then it was Mark and Donnie were sitting there talking, and they're like, I remember at times, like, you'd be walking down, and people would be like, "Fuck, there's the Wahlbergs." Like, like everyone hated them because they were just a bunch of little troublemakers.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, I could.
Shit, man, we had some of that growing up.
That is true.
Kids you just stay away from.
Yeah,
That
dude.
is very true.
So I like I said, I just after watching that, I like there's a couple of things with Mark Wahlberg that I don't mind. The Sniper, or it was an American Sniper, or whatever that movie.
No,
was.
Shooter.
No,
Shooter. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's
Shooter.
Bradley Cooper, the one with
Yeah.
American Sniper.
But Shooter.
And then it's no.
Yes.
There's another war one then with Mark Wahlberg.
There's a couple. He's done a couple good war ones.
There are a couple.
Uh,
You're probably thinking Lone Survivor.
Thank you, Lone Survivor. That's the
Lone
one I was
Survivor
thinking.
and Shooter. Both of those were pretty decent.
Funny story about Lone Survivor. I downloaded a ratings copy 2 weeks before it released into theaters.
Nice.
You know, someone lost their job.
Yeah.
I and also I'm a guilty pleasure movie of mine is The Other Guys. I think that movie is
Yes.
fucking
Oh, yeah.
hilarious.
That movie is amazing.
Fly like a peacock.
Yeah, dude. The movie is so
Aim for the bush.
the movie is so ridiculous.
Yeah, that movie's great.
But that those should we have some good movies coming up soon. But besides that, I'm still just over here waiting for more One Piece episodes because I'm such a ridiculous. I just binge them so hard, dude. I get like 12 episodes once a month, and I watch them all in like 2 days, and then I get to sit for an entire month and wait for more episodes to come out.
Don't do that to yourself.
I can't help it, dude. Like as soon as they come out, I'm like, yep, we're watching all of these right now.
Here we go.
Yeah. So for the next for 2 days straight, I'll just sit and watch episodes. So I'm just waiting for those. I part of me wants to switch over to the sub, but I've watched so much of it in the dub. I'm just gonna stick with where I'm at because I'm getting close to the fight with Kaido, the main fight. So I'm pretty excited. Things are getting exciting. So for those who know where One Piece anime is at, it's getting exciting for me.
It's
in the
getting
dub.
exciting.
It's already exciting, but it's getting more exciting because shit's about to go down.
Fucking stoked. I know. I need to start it. And now that you sent me that link, I know where my life is gonna go.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
And they also, I don't know what other animes you're into, but I've been watching all of the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War new episodes on that website. Naruto in its entirety is on there. I went through that once. There's the new Black Clover episodes are hitting that. The new Demon Slayer episodes are on there as well. So I've just that website is what I've been using to catch up with quite a few of them. The new Demon Slayer episodes I plan on watching. That's kind of what I've been doing is I'll binge out all my One Piece episodes and then I'll catch up on the other animes I like while I'm waiting. And then as soon as I see a Twitter post from a certain account that I follow, because this guy is on top of his shit, as soon as I see that, I start checking my website, and it's usually about a week and a half, and the episodes hit the website, and I start binging.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
I got it down to a system at this point. Yeah, I can't help it. But I think I don't know if there's really a little flash update. Just so I can laugh about this with Kyle. I met Barry's son.
Oh God.
Oh God is right. The kids are now just making trips into the past whenever they feel like it to come hang out. Risking changing the timeline because they're fucking dumbass speedsters. I've just come to the conclusion that all speedsters are rude and obnoxious and have no respect for the timeline.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
If you can manipulate it, why?
Yeah.
Why would you care?
Every single speedster I have met has manipulated the timeline somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So it's pretty irritating to watch. But I'm definitely interested to see what's gonna I will say there was an episode that I just watched that I actually really enjoyed and it got me really good. At this point Thawne has come back again but it's as Wells because they can't just let Wells not be in the show somehow, some way.
Why not?
Thawne has come back and the episode I watched, they fucking made Barry look insane, like where slowly over time he started losing his mind and forgetting things, and then Joe died, and I was like freaking out for a second. I was like, no. Joe cannot be dead right now. If Joe's dead, I'm gonna stop watching this TV show, I swear to God. And Joe, and then like Barry like went back in time to try to figure out where the temporal problem was and ended up in the spot where freaking Thawne was marrying Iris right in front of him, and I was like guffawed for a second. I thought that was pretty intense. That was a pretty decent episode. He had to work with Damien Dark to get everything back to normal, so that was an interesting watch.
Oh, nice.
I love Damien Dark's character, and the guy who plays Damien Dark I think is a great actor. I love his sinister snide face when he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
One of my personal favorite movies with him is Walking Tall with The Rock. I love that movie so much, and he is a great douchebag in that movie. He but I love him as Damien Dark. I thought that was a really interesting role, but that was a great episode. And I find myself still every constantly surprised by just the guy who plays Barry Allen is actually a pretty good actor. Like him coming
Yeah,
back,
he's awesome.
yeah, him coming back from that other timeline and like seeing everybody for the first time, and then hearing Joe on the phone and running to go see Joe after spending all that time thinking Joe was dead, and Joe had been dead for 6 months and he was all pissed off. He portrayed that pretty well. Like I thought that was a pretty great episode. I definitely would love to see more more with him as the Flash, but who knows what they're going to do. I know you said you didn't want to talk about the DC stuff, but my God.
Well, it's mostly just with the accusations of the Batman arc being partially stolen.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be that we're going to have to wait and see how that all falls together, and then we'll talk about it some more after we take some time and wait to see how that turns out, because I'm sure it's going to be a pain in the ass when it's all said.
Yeah, because there's so much other DC shit too, and they haven't even figured that out. So it's just a big mess at Warner Bros., which has been changed for the last 10 years.
Yep, and it makes me mad because Warner Bros. Has some of my favorite IP out there when it comes to media and entertainment. And I feel like they're slacking. They're slacking hard, dude. Like
they sure are.
Like, can we get something from Lord of the Rings that's not a TV show that's mid as shit? Can we?
That Return to Moria game bombed.
Yeah, Return to Moria bombed. That game that they just the Gollum game bombed.
Yeah, that was even worse, I think.
Yeah, dude, that was touted as probably the worst game before that King Kong Skull Island game came out. That Golem game was the worst game of 2023.
Kenny Viss covered that, and that was so funny.
Yeah, dude, and I'm mad because like the last Lord of the Rings game that I played that I enjoyed came out not all that long ago, and if you guys remember, Lord of the Rings Shadow of War. That game was incredible. I played that game for hours, and I could still play that game for hours. It is so much fun. The combat is fun. The combat reminded me of like Arkham Knight and Arkham City, where you got that great countering, but you're cutting orcs' limbs off left and right, and you got to fight the bigger orcs and take them over and make an army. That was such a great game. So much fun. Riding the dragons around and shit. I love that. I love that so much. Why can we not get more games like that? Like, one of my personal favorite Lord of the Ring games of all time that I have played so many times and I wish they would make a remake of is Lord of the Rings War in the North on Xbox 360. I don't know if you guys played that game back in the day.
I didn't even hear about it.
It was like a Diablo kind of, except it was more third person, not that top down. That top down view, but it was third person. You could be a dwarf, you could be a ranger, you could be a mage. And I think there might have been one more character you could play as, or those might have been just the three. But it was like a whole story where you like ran through, and as you killed enemies and bosses, you got better loot and you got abilities, and you got to like level your character up, and like there was different builds you could do, and there was a whole crazy story, and then there was an endless horde mode that you could play as well. It was such a good game. I played that game with my buddy Andrew so much back in the day. Oh my god, hours upon hours of playing that game. If he's listening to this podcast right now, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because me and him put so many hours into that shit. And I would love to get another game like that again, but I haven't seen, like, that's one of the IPs that I get so mad about when I think about it, is it doesn't get enough love in the game department anymore, is Lord of the Rings. I want a good, hard-hitting Lord of the Rings game.
Right. Absolutely. Real quick, looks like the LA Times just dropped an article about an hour ago. According to Captain Scott Williams, who leads the robbery homicide division with the LAPD, cause of death may not be known for some time, but at this point, foul play is not suspected in accordance to Matthew Perry. That just popped up on my Twitter feed.
Well, I hope that's actually what it is.
That's cliche to say the same thing, right? That's exactly what I was expecting him to say.
Yeah. I mean, we all feel a certain way about Epstein. We all know.
Right.
We all know. They blatantly killed that man in front of America and got away with it.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's going on anymore? Like, honest to God, who knows what's going on anymore?
Yep. I 100% agree. Like I was saying last night on stream, there are some fishy ones based on some underground side projects that people have done in the past, right? Like I said, Paul Walker and Chester Bennington come to my mind when you want to talk about it starting to expose shit.
Yeah.
So
the Paul Walker one still. I say what you want about Fast and the Furious, but up until Fast 5, those movies were badass, dude. I was in it.
That.
I was in it.
I will give you that. I will give you that. About Fast 5, then they started, yeah.
Up until Fast 5, those movies were badass, dude. Yep. And I watched Fast 5 is still probably my favorite one besides freaking Tokyo Drift. I will always love Tokyo Drift.
I love Tokyo Drift because not only the cars, but fucking who was the main guy? What was his name?
Han?
Not Han, but the
the dude with the accent. Can I get a picture of that? Hell yeah,
yeah. Dude, I love his. I've seen he's in a bunch of movies that I've seen. Fucking love his accent style.
Yeah, dude, and he's in CSI. Freaking the one in Louisiana.
Yeah.
CSI
No.
New Orleans.
No, NCIS.
Oh, NCIS New Orleans. That's what it is.
Yeah.
NCIS New Orleans. Yeah. But say like I said, say what you want about Fast and the Furious, but Fast and the Furious, that first movie, jump started car culture for my generation and I think everybody. Cause that first movie, dude, the street races and all the cars and the Charger doing the wheelie down the street, iconic. Okay, that first movie I could watch a million times. It was great. I love it. I'll never not love that movie.
Big facts.
But I still do get sad when I watch it because Paul Walker, dude. And that's the thing is Paul Walker was a good actor, not just for Fast and the Furious. Like the other movies that he did, did you guys ever watch 8 Below? That movie with him and the dogs? Yep. That's such a great movie. That was such a great movie. Good. I loved Paul Walker as an actor, so I was very sad to see when I saw that. It was just still to me though, it was up there with when I found out Steve Irwin died. I'll never forget that. Dude. That was the worst shit.
Steve Irwin was a tough one.
Steve Irwin and Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn, Paul Walker. Those are the three that three people on TV that I watched the most when I was growing up. So those ones sucked to hear about.
Yep.
Yeah, no. I don't know if you guys, a little side note, do you guys watch or follow anything about Steve Irwin's son?
I see shit when it pops up.
Dude,
I saw that he continued on with.
He's just like his dad.
Animals.
He's just like his dad, dude. Matter of fact, I follow him on Facebook, and they just hatched. This was actually kind of historic and cool news that I actually want to include now that I remembered it. They just hatched the first Irwin's turtle at the Irwin Zoo in Australia. The first one ever hatched in captivity, and it's the turtle that his father Steve discovered and named, and it's the first one ever hatched, and they hatched it at their zoo, which I think is so awesome. I think that's so awesome. I love that his son is the same person that his dad was. I love it so much.
Down to give it 10 years and the face is going to fill out correctly.
Yeah, I love it so much. It makes me smile so much when I see stuff with him. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. It's like whatever power is out there, thank you. This guy, like he's the type of people we need to save animals, and I'm so glad he loves them so much because snakes freak me out. So
Snakes in other people's hands freak me out.
the
I don't
only
care
place,
if I'm the one holding it.
the only place I think all snakes should die right now is Florida. I feel bad for Florida and what's going on down there with that invasive species of
Yeah.
pythons, I think is what it is right now. They have a very bad problem with that. Like I was just reading a report. It was like they're saying like upwards of 90% of furry small ground mammals are gone in the Everglades
Jeez.
because of pythons.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they're like eating alligators. You can find videos of them eating alligators. They have no natural predators in the Everglades. They're just fucking swimming around eating shit.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That
dude.
shit is crazy.
And there was a bunch of rumors about that saying that there was a research facility that busted open during a hurricane. A bunch of snakes got out. No. I listened to a podcast, the Rogan podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast with this guy who has been commissioned by the Florida state government to go down and start removing pythons by killing them, and he takes the snake skins and sells them to fund his operation because the state is asking him to do this now because there's just so many of them, like it's an actual problem. And he's like 90% sure at this point that this is happening because the environment in Florida is just right for these pythons to breed and live. So he thinks it's people who sell pythons as pets who are taking them down there and releasing babies into the wild and shit so they can breed, and then they're harvesting them later and selling them. And they're just using it as a spot to harvest. That's why Florida's also got such a big problem with iguanas, because people will go out to a tree and put an iguana out there and leave it, and they'll come back like a year later and there's a whole bunch of iguanas in that area, and they'll harvest them and sell them as pets.
Yeah.
So they're killing them at golf courses, all kinds of things. Like I've been watching
I
videos.
can see it. I can see it. So my boss is based out of Miami, and when he was rebranding a new store that we were getting ready to open, dude, he was getting pictures like you would expect to see squirrels up here of iguanas, like just sitting out in front of the front door, just like sitting there on the sidewalk, like you would expect. Like, holy shit, talk about fucking dragons on the loose.
It's a real problem.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see. Nothing really new for me for the music world, if I'm going to be 100% honest.
Yeah. No,
I've been listening. I listen to a lot of the same shit. So like I got my stuff that I like and I listen to it a lot.
Yeah, I listened to like one genre and it was kind of quiet this week, but
yeah, and that's the thing is like you know I
have a ton of shows and movies though. If you want to
yeah,
go over those,
let's go into that. Please continue on the list.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
cool. One of you already brought up South Park earlier, but was it the 27th? Paramount Plus released the South Park new exclusive event. I've not watched that yet, so I'm kind of curious what that is.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I will try to let you know.
I'm gonna watch.
All right, cool.
So I might try to go up and watch it at some point.
We use a friend's account, so we'll have to check it out too.
We have Max as well. That's such a stupid name, but yeah, we have Max. So we're gonna be.
I have Max as well.
Yeah, so we're gonna be. I'm sure we'll probably end up watching that tonight. I didn't realize that was coming out so soon, so I'm actually excited about that because, as I've told you guys, South Park is like the one animated show that I have really like, that I watch all the time. I love their style of animation because it's easy enough to do that they can keep up with current events pretty easily when they're making episodes on the normal. Like that's why I love watching the normal seasons of South Park for that reason.
It's like the news.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like the nightly news.
Yep. But sorry to take that away. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Paramount Plus is also bringing back Ink Master starting November 1st. You guys remember that show?
I do. That should be
kind of cool. I always like that. Yeah. Amazon's Fallout series is set to premiere April 12th. So I know you guys will be stoked for that.
Yes, I have Amazon Prime Video for that reason because I've been
Yep.
waiting. And the other good news is that's gonna be what we do my first watch party on the first episode, because we can watch anything
That's
on
sick.
Amazon Prime on Twitch as a watch party without getting into any
Mhm.
trouble. So we're gonna be doing our live. I'm gonna be doing my live reaction of the first episode of the Fallout series on Twitch.
Fuck yeah. Nice. Well, nice little plug into there. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hell yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is set to return November 26th on Adult Swim.
Interesting.
So they're making a revival.
Interesting.
Yeah. I guess the movie got enough headway.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, dude. Personally, I have not watched a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Some of the stuff I've seen, some of the clips I've seen, and like I remember watching it, like little bits of it when I was growing up, because all my older cousins were super into it. I know that the older
Mhm.
generation, the older generation is really going to be into watching that, like just,
Yep.
a couple years above us, your guys' age
Me.
especially. You guys will be really excited for
Big
that.
facts.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are real pumped for that. I was never big into that, but I'm excited for you guys because that's awesome when they, especially because it's new stuff. They're not just remastering
Yeah.
old episodes with like new graphics or something. They're bringing new stuff back. So
Right.
I went to watch the movie and it picks up literally right after the show, but like some years had passed. So then I was like, oh shoot, I need to like watch the last couple episodes before I watch the movie, and then I need to watch now this.
mhm.
So I got some work to do.
yeah, for sure.
I'm with you on that.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse comes to Netflix October 31st.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'll definitely have to check that out because I have not. I still need to watch the other newest Spider-Man movie. I
Same.
have a hot take on Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's my favorite Spider-Man.
100%.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Andrew Garfield was my favorite Spider-Man. Tom Holland's a badass. I love Tom Holland. I'm not saying he's bad Spider-Man, but Andrew Garfield was my favorite Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was
think
good.
you and I, yeah, he was. I think you and I are in the minority with that out of the three, but I would totally agree. He is the best one.
Yeah, he was the best one. He portrayed the character of Peter Parker so well, I thought. I don't know.
It was really emotional.
Yep. I agree.
I cried.
Yeah, that was a great. It was a great. Those movies were great. They were great. So I enjoyed those ones very much. He was my favorite Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. I grew up watching the Tobey Maguire movies. They're fantastic. I'll never forget those. William Dafoe will always be the Green Goblin. Okay, does not matter who they try to make the Green Goblin afterwards. No one will do it better than William Dafoe. But
dude, you
Andrew
watch
Garfield.
that and you get that Boondock Saints vibe out of it,
dude.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Willem Dafoe is one of the he's just got the facial structure that just creeps. It's his face structured, and it gets me every time. Like
a smile, man.
There are certain roles that only he can play, just like fucking Rubberface himself, Mr. Jim Carrey.
Dude,
He can only play certain roles because of what he can do with his face.
Yep. No,
Big fact.
the last movie I watched with Willem Dafoe in it, it came out a while ago, was The Norseman. Did you guys watch that movie?
No.
Okay, crazy movie. I don't know where I would rate it. It was violent. It was about this Viking dude who witnessed his father get killed when he was a boy, and he escaped, and then he grew up and essentially became a tough berserker. And while he became a berserker Viking with a different like group of Vikings, and then went back and like killed the guy who killed his dad. And yeah, it's a crazy movie, really crazy movie. There's some twists in it, but William Dafoe plays the shaman who like takes him on these trips. And like William Dafoe was like in a loincloth in a cave with like crazy long matted hair and a dirty face, and he's like giving you a skull to drink out of with blood in it, and all you can see is like the bottom of his face in the firelight. Dude, creepiest I've ever seen him. Seen him, dude. It was great. Like it was something else, man. It was something else. I've never seen William Dafoe like that, and it was cool to see.
That's fucking.
If you
I
get the
fucking love
chance,
that guy.
check that movie out. Like I said, it's kind of a weird watch, and it's a strange movie, but I'm glad I watched it because it was just a cool story. Like, it was a really cool story. At least I thought it was.
Right.
I think I saw it, but yeah, I just never watched it.
But yeah, continue on.
Go ahead. Archer Into the Cold.
Oh.
The last season was this year, but the final event premieres December 17th on Hulu.
Okay.
So this should be the end of anything Archer going forward, unless 10-year revival or something weird. But
It's a big
this
deal
is the
for
end.
Archer fans.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little bittersweet. I haven't watched this season or the one before it, so I got a little bit of work to do with that as well. But a little sad.
It's always hard when you know you're getting near the end of something you enjoy like that.
Yeah.
Like, I know, I know I felt that way about Naruto when I started getting near the end. I was like, fuck, it's gonna come to an end soon. And that's the thing, is
Yep.
like, that's why I think I love One Piece so much, is because, like, Oda has essentially kind of been like, yeah, I thought about wrapping it up soon, but like, we got more to go. It's just supposed to continue on, and I'm
That's
like,
funny.
yeah, baby, give me another 1,000 episodes. I don't care. I'll watch them all.
Of course.
That's funny.
12 at a time.
Yeah, dude, 12 at a time. You bet your ass I'll watch them 12 at a time.
James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli said executives haven't even begun reinventing the franchise, and in quotes, "I think these movies reflect the time they are in." So I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna like 2026 because we don't even know who Bond is yet.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because I don't want to like start a big old debate, and I'm not trying to start an argument with anybody. But there's been some controversy about the person who is to play Bond next, the next James Bond character.
Yeah, we had two good potentials and nothing.
Yeah. Now a lot of people, and how do you guys feel about it? Let me ask you that. Who do you think who were the two potentials that they were looking at?
I don't think it was ever confirmed that he was like being cast, but he did audition. Henry Cavill.
Ooh.
And then Idris.
Ooh, okay. Now both of those, I could see that. I could see both of those. Now,
yeah.
My one thing is, the one thing I don't want them to do to the James Bond character, I don't give a shit about who plays it race-wise. Just please don't make it a woman. At least stay with a guy. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but James Bond books, if you go back to the books, it's based, like, change it up a little bit. But if it changes it to a woman, you're gonna have to. It's not gonna be James Bond anymore.
Yeah, just leave that.
Yeah,
I don't mind like the swaps and stuff when you go to like lures, but like I don't know, there's just something different about a James Bond movie that obviously it would be James, but it would just be, I don't know, it's just drastically different. Like, it's been the same thing for how many years, and now we're gonna flip it. I just leave it.
Yeah, like,
just leave it.
Like, I'm not trying, like, there's some things that are they're, like you said, it's been this way for so long, and I'm not saying that a little bit of change wouldn't be good, but at the same time, if you go back to the original source material, the books, where they're at right now, every time it's about a British dude, right? It's about a British dude. Just keep giving us a British dude. All right, that's what I want. I want it to be about that type of story. If you change it up and it's a new generation of James Bond, fine, but make that clear. You can't call it James Bond no more. It's got to be something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Idris would have been just stellar. It would have been perfect.
Yeah, Idris Elba
I would have really liked that.
Henry Cavill would make a great James Bond as well, in my opinion. I think Henry Cavill would be a great person. The other person who I wish would audition for it, personally, I think Tom Hardy could make a great James Bond. I think Tom Hardy Tom Hardy could pull that reel off, that role off very well.
I don't know how much hair he can grow, but I think he's got the swagger. He's just a little rugged.
He's got the swagger. He doesn't need the hair.
But so was Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig
Yeah.
was a little rugged for James Bond.
That's a
in my
very
opinion.
handsome man, though.
Yeah, Daniel Craig was a very handsome man. I agree with you. But he was
Fucking
also
Daniel
a
Craig.
little bit rugged. Like, compare him to, like, Sean Connery or Pierce Brosnan. Both of those
They
people.
were your gentleman Bonds.
Yes, they were. Daniel
Whereas
Craig.
now we're
Daniel Craig was, I'm going to do what it takes to get the mission done.
Yeah.
Like, he was that James Bond. So if they give us a rougher James Bond, I'm okay with that. Give me something a little gruffer. And, you know, Daniel Craig betrayed the James Bond that he was supposed to very well. Casino Royale was essentially the first, that's the first book. That's the first story of James Bond. That's explains, like, that's all about his love with Vesper, and why James Bond doesn't fall in love anymore is because he lost the love of his life, Vesper. That's like the whole reason behind James Bond being a womanizer, right? He betrayed that so well, I thought.
Totally.
The early secret agent, like, yes, he's been trained and he knows what he's doing and he has all this experience, but he's also, you know, he's rough around the edges and he does things a little bit cowboyish. Badass. I love that.
Honestly, this is gonna sound extremely stereotypical for me, but as an American, I'm not into the gentleman stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something about our history where, like, look at our Wild West.
I don't know. There's a time and place for it, dude. There's a time and place for it. Like that.
Right.
The other show I think about all the time when I think about James Bond is that fucking the Kingsmen. They're gentlemen. They're gentlemen, but they're badasses. They're gentlemen, but they're badasses. And I love that about Pierce Brosnan. He was a gentleman, always a gentleman. Always spoke very well, but he would kick your ass in a second and get out of there without being seen, dude. He was a badass, dude. Like, Pierce Brosnan did that really well. Sean Connery did that super well. Roger Williams, like, you know, you can go on.
Yeah.
Or was it not Roger Williams? Did I say Roger Moore?
Roger Moore.
Roger Moore. Thank you. Sorry, my bad. Roger Moore. They were all gentlemen James Bonds, and that was I love that about them. They were good at that, and that they did that role well. Daniel Craig changed it up a little bit, but he was supposed to be an early Bond, and it was gruffer. And all of his I watched all of those with Daniel Craig because Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite
Mads
actors.
Mikkelsen, like, bro.
Dude, yeah, the crying blood at the poker game, so awesome, dude. It's so good, dude. But sorry to take that away. Go ahead if there's more for you.
Yeah, I just got a few more. No big deal, though. So Mission Impossible received some changes.
Ooh.
It is no longer going to be part 1 and part 2, because apparently part 2 is not happening anymore. The movie going forward is called Mission Impossible 8, but is now delayed to May 2025.
Shit, so are we
which
getting
part of some of that strike stuff? But yeah, so something happened with part 1 and 2, and 2 just got nixed.
So does that mean we're just getting a 4-hour fucking Mission Impossible Tom Cruise on the screen?
Eventually, which could be pretty cool.
We're getting We're getting 4 hours of old man Tom Cruise doing his own stunts.
Literally, it's just a highlight reel.
For real. Look what I've done in my career.
I did.
A Quiet Place Day 1 also received a delay, June 28th, 2024. Yeah. I thought that was set to release like pretty soon, so I was actually kind of shocked, but
okay.
And then last thing I have is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein cast. Super stoked for this.
Let's hear it.
Andrew Garfield is gonna play the Doctor.
Okay.
I had to look who this was, but Mia Goth is playing the bride. It looks like a pretty good fit. And then Oscar Isaac as the monster.
Okay.
Shooting begins February, and I would guess depending on how the strike goes.
Okay. Interesting.
So I'm pumped for that movie because he does horror flicks very well. And if anyone ever saw Cabinets of Curiosity, I love that show and kind of the take on like the Alfred Hitchcock vibes that he brings back. So I'm a big fan of him. So I'm stoked.
Heck yeah. There was something I was just thinking about that I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember the movie that it was. Steven, you got anything you want to add? I'm trying to remember what this was.
Dude, I'm not okay. Kyle, I want I gotta hear more on this because I did some looking in on this. Now I'm not the biggest sports fan for own personal reasons, right? Sports is entertainment, and if you can keep the world out of it, that's what I want. But they haven't been able to do that recently, so I just kind of blocked everything out. But let's get a hot take on Adam Johnson. Horrible accident.
Oh yeah, that shit sucked. So I don't know what like level of league it is, but it's not like the NHL or the KHL or anything. It's like a kind of like an AHL type level, so like one level below.
Okay, for sure.
So Adam had the puck. He was skating left wing, kind of takes a turn into the middle, into the offensive zone. As he's in the offensive zone, a teammate of his and an opposing player are like about to hit each other a little bit, but not hard, just like collide and then keep skating.
Right.
What happens when that happened? The opposing player's left leg kind of it looks like it kind of catches an edge on the player without the puck, and it like rides up that dude's leg a little bit, and then he just loses all control, right? So he has no balance and he's basically airborne at this point. The left skate goes right into Adam's throat. Immediately loses blood, and it's like apparent. It's like pools of blood.
Right.
I don't know how far he made it, but he did not live. It was a fatal injury.
Right. I know. I haven't been able, and then I haven't really gone looking, but the things I've seen on Twitter has been they've been doing highlight plays from him, but they were talking about the incident and the teammates worked to try and stop the blood and got him off the ice before he perished. But that's as much as I know.
Yeah, I think he at least made it off the ice, which like thank God. But it was immediate, like pools of blood. As soon as he's standing and like holding his throat, it's all over his jersey, it's all over the ice. As he's skating, it's just leaving a trail. Like they postponed the game, like they're done.
That's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so really shitty, and obviously our hearts go out to the Johnson family. That's tragic and just a freak accident.
That's
hockey moves quick, man.
Yeah,
Very quick.
I mean, you got blades on your feet. That's a risk that everybody's, you're taking that risk out there on the ice.
Exactly. I listen to a podcast, the Steve Dangle podcast, and Steve always calls them knife blade or knife shoes. It's literally what they are. Like
it really is like let's think about in all honesty, let's think about the most barbaric sport. Like we have a sport that we popularized here in America that is built on people literally hitting each other, and I still will say hockey is the most barbaric sport.
Yeah.
You literally are grabbing a branch, a rock, and knives and running at each other trying to hit.
A little bit, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
the
object of the game is not to hit each other, but obviously it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the fact that
you're bound to.
You have,
even if you don't want to.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then you have 3 conceivable weapons on everybody.
Yep.
It's
pile-ups happen all the time, and it's crazy. Nothing like happens in those
right
often, but it's crazy when it does happen. There's been plenty of incidences in the NHL where like someone's had their wrist slashed or even the neck has been hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember one. Yeah, I remember one. That's why this one like threw me so much for a loop when I read in on it, because one of the most popular NHL clips I've ever seen is a guy falling down and catching a knife straight into the throat, but he holds it up and then he was fine.
Yep. Just super lucky. It's crazy.
I do remember what I wanted to say because it was about Quentin Tarantino, so it was a ways back. I just remembered it.
Oh, you're good.
So I seen this in an interview. I don't know about you guys. I am a Quentin Tarantino fan of movies, but in an interview, Quentin Tarantino said that he only wanted to make, I think it was like 7 movies.
One more movie.
Yep, he's supposed to make 1 more. So his next movie will be his last, which kind of makes me sad.
Yep.
Yeah. It will be his last one. I think that it will be really sad. I really hope that he, for his last one, I want to see like a star-studded cast. I want to see I want to see.
It's got to be.
I want to see everybody from all of his other movies that are still alive in those movies in
Just a big
some way or
mashup.
another, dude. Yeah, in one way or another. Like I want to see them all, dude.
Oh, I just posted this the other day. Black Phone 2 is going to release June 27th, 2025.
Oh,
Woohoo.
So more Ethan Hawke to come to you. Oh, and they're also supposed to make a series out of that along with that update. So very curious what details come from that.
okay, that's interesting for sure.
I don't know if it's a movie series or TV series or what, but I'm fucking pumped. I love Ethan Hawke, so
Yeah. Let's see. For other sports though, I don't really got a lot more to. I haven't. The action sports scene for me has been kind of quiet. Snowboarding's just really starting to get started. So before.
Yeah, we're just finally getting into that season.
Yep. So we're just finally starting to get started with snowboarding. So there'll definitely be snowboarding stuff updates, especially anything that Travis Rice is doing, because that guy is fucking he's something else.
Beast.
Yeah, I don't think he's from this planet. Personally, I don't think he's from this planet. The way that guy flies through the air with a board strapped to his feet, I just don't think he's from this planet.
There's people who have trained to be able to get to that superhuman ability, like Shaun White.
Yeah,
and then you have Travis Rice, who just
does it
like
on like
it's him.
80-degree inclines going down a
Yep.
mountain. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't. It doesn't fathom
Exactly.
with me sometimes. I just can't get it.
Exactly.
All those guys he runs around with, John Jones, all those guys, all those cats he runs around with, they're all freaks
Fucking
in nature,
right.
dude. They're all freaks in nature.
Right.
Football, I have not really been paying attention this season. I'm not gonna lie. Usually I pay attention to the Packers pretty closely and what they're doing, but I felt betrayed by Aaron Rodgers. I was upset about that one, and I'm not gonna say I feel bad for the guy injuring himself like that on his first match in the season, but also kind of had to laugh a little bit. Just because.
Yeah, first 4 snaps. I mean, that sucks.
Yeah, I had to laugh
That's
just
crazy.
a little bit. I was like, dang, dude, you could not catch a break.
Dude, that's just
Yeah.
it. I had to laugh because it's like, you got in this fight, and then you went to the literal worst team, and so literal worst team from last season that they got their own HBO special.
Yeah.
And everyone was hyped on how the Jets are going to go around and first drive, you're done.
Yeah.
Like,
It
talk
could
about
be
like,
a more Jets like season opener script though, you know.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
This is
Absolutely.
the year we're turning it around. Nope.
Like literally, it's like you could do, if you ever see those videos, like the one that's the most popular one that I ever see is where you see like a little person running down the dock and then he jumps into the water and it goes bloop. Like literally, you could do this like, oh, don't like they're getting hyped. This is our year, and then they just do the clip of his Achilles snapping and go bloop.
Yep.
Followed by the wah 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 wah, because that's exactly what it was. The Jets used everything to get Aaron Rodgers, and it's the Alex Smith syndrome. Like, you got to get to the point where you just realize like your body can't handle it anymore.
Yep.
And some guys are in their head too much, like Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith. These guys that probably should have retired a couple of years before they got these crazy ass injuries. And then you've got fucking, what was it, Matthew Stafford? No, not Stafford. Andrew Luck, who just like after a game one time was just like, dude, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. I retire. Like years left to play, but he knew what his body was telling him. Like you gotta listen, especially in football.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're taking damage.
All those physical sports. It's every play, every second you're getting hit. You gotta be mindful of it.
Right. Well, that's like the other one that you posted. That one, the other one that you posted in hockey, Kyle, with fucking what's his face?
Jumbo?
Yeah, Jumbo, dude. Who the hell rides on blades for 24 years?
Okay, well in hockey, so like some of that you can kind of get away with. Like,
I mean, I will give you that because it's not full contact, but still.
yeah, like it's a super physical sport, but like it varies quite a bit. Like the training, I feel like is a little more heavy for those guys
Yeah,
versus like
I
the
mean, I can see
NFL.
that.
But because you see a lot of players hit the 20-year mark, and then you're like, oh shit.
See,
Yeah, it's just
And then like
something that-
Chris Chelios was like 47 when he retired. That guy's a fucking maniac. He still looks like he could play.
you know, and that's why like all those contact sports are difficult, but I see the long careers in those sports, and if you know, like that's why I see those long careers, and it's like you kind of you do that to yourself. Like I've been noticing that the culture, like one thing I've been enjoying is the culture in UFC has been changing. You don't see guys with that long of careers anymore. Yes, there's a few of them, but you don't see that many guys with that long of careers in the UFC anymore because of how much damage they're taking. You know what I mean? Like
Dude,
the people
they're
are getting
huge.
out sooner and in a better state. Like, you know, a lot of people a lot of people might not know this, but Michael Bisping won a freaking championship belt with one eye. He faked his eye tests blind and went in with one eye and won a championship belt with one eye
Jesus.
and then got out. Like that's the type of shit that those guys were doing. And it's like to me that's too much, man. Like it's nice to see some of these fighters now starting to pull out before they get too, you know, too brain dead, too damaged, especially when their heart's not into it as they get older. Like, you know,
Right.
Yep.
I really hope that Conor McGregor, for the sake of his own the sake of his own brain, eventually will stop, because ever since he lost to Khabib, he just hasn't been the same fighter. He just hasn't.
He is
No,
not. No.
And
dude, look at, you know, sad to say this one, but look at Muhammad Ali.
same
Look at the
thing.
state that he's in. Look at the state he's in. They've learned here in the last what
Muhammad
20
Al-
years.
Muhammad Ali passed away not too long ago, I thought.
I think so. But
Yeah.
look at how he was. Look at how he was towards the end of his life with the Parkinson's taking control.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're literally finding that the sustained head trauma.
Yeah, the CTE shit is like real. I wish more people were serious about it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, dude. Traumatic brain injuries, everything like that. So dude, I find it amazing when I see gray hair in a professional sport.
Yep. No,
I'm just gonna say it.
that's why I hope that, you know, I hope on a constant that some of these fighters start to get out earlier, just because it's important for those guys to get out earlier when they still can.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do in the industry surrounding it that you don't have to exit out of the fighting world in your life in general, but get out of the spotlight, get out of the fights, make a little bit of money to sustain, and then go into a support role
Yeah, I mean, in
or
a
go
sport,
into broadcasting, or
in
you
a
know
s-
what I mean? Like,
in a sport where the whole objective is to punch another guy in the head and to maybe get punched in the head yourself, you can't stay in that sport for 20 years. You can't do that.
I know, just like listening to that just sounds idiotic, and like
That's what I'm
or
saying.
think about yourself, bro.
think about the difference, especially between like boxing and MMA, UFC, right?
Yeah, wild difference.
And yeah, you're adding in, first off, you're adding in an additional set of weapons when you add in the feet, and the feet have zero padding on them. So
The
it's
feet,
just,
the knees, the
Yeah.
elbows, the
yep.
shoulders.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's a
even
lot.
then, look at the glove. Look at the glove difference. Dude, boxing gloves are padded as fuck compared to like kickboxing MMA gloves.
Yeah, dude. I watched a UFC match where someone knocked another guy out with his shoulder. They clinched, and he dropped down a few inches and jumped up with his shoulder and hit that guy in the chin and knocked him out. That's
He hit the pinpoint.
Jesus.
dude.
He hit the pinpoints right behind the jawbone. Right
That's what I'm
behind the
saying.
jawbone.
With his shoulder. It
Yeah,
like
if you can pinch it, sends immediate nerves
Yeah.
straight up, knocks you out. Instant knockout.
you can't do that in boxing.
No, it's true.
So
It's true.
it's like I really hope that more MMA guys start to get out at a little bit earlier of an age, so they're not really damaging themselves. Like I've been loving watching Sean O'Malley's career. I've been following it closely because I love that we got a Montana boy who's, you know, bantamweight champion right now.
Yeah.
I think that's badass as hell. But I really cannot, you know, I hope that something bad doesn't happen in a fight. You know, and all it takes is a slip up and something like that. Looking at the clock,
Yep.
you know, slipping on your foot, or that guy getting lucky and getting around a block. It's just it can happen to any one of those fighters. No one's so good that they're above getting hit in the face when it comes to that type of shit. So it's been really fun to watch his career, and I think he's in a great spot. And that fight against Aljamain, that was a great fight to watch in its second round. And I love his attitude towards stuff, because he does crack me up, dude. Like his cocky shit cracks me up sometimes. Like in the after fight interview, one of the reporters was like, "So did you know that they scored the first round to Aljamain?" And O'Malley just looks directly at this reporter, doesn't say anything for a second, and goes, "Would they score the second round?" And that was the second round, is where he knocked him out and won the fight pretty much. He didn't knock him out, but he staggered him and then got on top of him and was beating the shit out of him, and he couldn't defend himself until the ref stopped the fight. And I just laughed, because I was like, yeah, he's got a point. They might have given the first round to Aljamain, but he still won the fight. Like, why would you even ask that question?
Right.
But did you guys see all the drama with Dylan Dennis and Dylan Dennis
Logan.
and
Logan?
Logan? Did you guys see all the drama that happened with that?
I know you were
It's
talking
like a
about
little bit.
Okay.
We talked about like the storm on, but I haven't seen anything afterwards.
Okay, so they were getting ready to fight, right? And then there was the pre-fight show where they like go face to face, the face off. Dylan Dennis threw his microphone and hit Logan in the face and cut up his face pretty good, actually, with that microphone. Like, actually hit him pretty good with it. And then Logan ended up winning the fight, which really pissed off Dennis, and started a fight in the ring after the match was over. Bunch of drama. And then last night, I decided I wasn't gonna watch it because I wanted to play Warzone with the boys, and there was just too much going on. But the Tyson Fury fight happened last night versus Francis Ngannou. I'm gonna be watching the highlights later. That was a kind of a big thing in the boxing. That was the heavyweight. He has never fought. Francis Ngannou never fought once as a boxer, but for 10 rounds, he bullied and pushed and clubbed and hit dropped the unbeaten world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. At the end of the contest, though, Fury won in a controversial split decision to remain unbeaten, but his bruised and bloody face was harsh and undeniable testimony that the success Ngannou had throughout the fight. So that's from AOL.com, actually, surprising. Oh, AOI.com, sorry. AOI.com.
I was like, AOL still a thing?
So, vicious 10 rounds I plan on watching. It was on Tyson. I was hoping that Francis was going to come through and win, but Tyson Fury defended his championship belt because he is a great boxer. He is a very, very great boxer. He said, I had a little interview after the fight, he goes, "I need a long, hard break." Francis Ngannou hits. They said that getting punched by Francis Ngannou at his full force is like getting hit by an average person swinging a sledgehammer at full force.
Yes.
Cool.
So, you can only imagine what kind of a boxing match that was. Because I'm sure Tyson Fury also hits like a mother, dude. He's a huge man.
Hey, it's huge.
Yeah, so what?
He's like that bodyguard he punched at the guy wearing that Halloween outfit and the leotard. You guys watch that?
No, I did not, but I will have to check that out. That's funny.
I don't even know what happened. It was some weird drama.
I love them World Star clips.
Yeah.
Breaking news out of IGN. Richard Mole, voice actor of Harvey Dent, Two-Face in Batman the Animated Series, passed away at 80 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, that sucks.
Yeah, they're all going now.
They're getting up there.
Harley passed too.
Oh, wow.
That was like a month or two ago. Yeah, that was sucked.
That's crazy.
So
We're getting,
yeah.
we're just getting old. We're getting old.
Yeah, I know.
folks.
We're just old fucks now.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
How do you want to wrap? I got questions.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was just gonna give a little shout. The last big thing I want to say, I feel bad that I didn't say this in the very beginning. But we did add another member to the roster of the Demons Club, BeatdownKing.
You.
I will make sure
What?
to play his little intro, and we still need to get Kira's played on the stream or on the pod once we get that figured out. Everybody's just getting their stuff organized, but I will make sure to have links for BeatdownKing down below, so make sure to check him out. He's our newest addition. I'm also gonna drop a link for the Demons Club Discord down below. If you haven't joined already, make sure you're in the Discord. We got updates for the pod. We're all in there hanging out, talking all the time. It's a great place to find people to play games with, all that good stuff. Yeah. And make sure to check us all out. Like every episode, I'll have all of our links down below.
Sick. Awesome. And also with that, our first official posts on social media will be going live Monday, Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you guys check us out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Also,
we now have Facebook pages, so check us out on Facebook, the Demons Club.
yeah.
And by the time this is out, yeah, it should be. Well, actually, this will be live tonight. So perfect.
But a little bit of also news here on the podcast. I was chatting up with a community member last night before I ended. The one that actually, she's a member of our server. She's the one that I sent that screenshot to, where I called that dude out on his fucking chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, her and her significant other love the podcast, coming to us out of fucking Sweden.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell
Just
yeah.
going to say that.
Yeah,
Shout
Sweden
out,
listeners?
shout out to that. Shout out to Sweden.
That's so sick.
Thank you.
We'll
I
give
appreciate
a
that.
shout out for Epic. Epic is real, comes in from Lowe's, followed me. Oh, dude.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate the love. I don't know. Are you guys gonna be streaming at all tonight?
No, I'm gonna take the night off. I gotta go do some more food shopping real quick, and then the kids, we're gonna do pumpkins for Halloween.
Okay.
Which I'm trying this new thing this year where I'm not gonna let the holidays just beat my ass and dread it. So I'm gonna get my hands dirty, and then I'm gonna spend the night with the family.
All right.
I've been working a lot of nights doing some new training and shit like that. So I'm gonna spend the night with the family. So
word.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be on games here shortly. But actually,
going...
part of my one of my questions is what you're going to do to celebrate. So that's cool to hear that you're going to be hanging with the fam. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta work like we're closed for Halloween, but I'm gonna go in and do like my month-end inventory and stuff. Make sure I don't have to use any PTO. It really doesn't matter. I'll be in plain clothes, a couple employees in there doing some cleaning and stuff like that. So that's fine by me. And then trick-or-treating that night.
Oh yeah.
So, fucking gonna take the kids around.
Are you playing Alan Wake, Kyle?
For Halloween, the Leafs are playing Tuesday, but I will be on. Yeah, I'm gonna try and fit that in somehow. So.
Are you playing Alan Wake today?
No.
Oh, does that mean we're gonna play Warzone?
Yeah. It's too late in the day to be playing Alan Wake. I was gonna play it this morning, but I woke up kind of late, so I figured I'd just hop on the pod and then do this, and then
that's perfect. I
do
will.
Warzone. So.
I'm gonna be a little bit delayed because I'm gonna eat some food while I'm getting the uploads ready and getting the links typed in, because unfortunately the copy pasting doesn't work super well when I try to put links in. So yeah, it sucks. I get to type a lot of stuff all the time. But I will definitely be on Warzone very shortly after, because that's what I want to do today. I want to grind some more Warzone.
Cool.
All right.
Throughout the day, I'll try and get you tuned in.
Yeah, dude. Thank you guys so much for being here. We will be back again next Sunday. Hopefully, we'll get another member of the Demons Club in here soon. So it's not just the 3 Musketeers, but the 4 Amigos, maybe.
Right.
One podcast episode.
Also wanted to suggest I know we've talked about it. Maybe getting some guests in.
It would be kind of fun to like stick like anybody in the podcast really just for an episode just to give an outside
Right.
perspective on things as we're talking. So yeah,
Yeah, totally.
something we'll talk about. But all right,
For
I
sure.
hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for listening. Thank you if you made it this far.
You guys are
Much
the
love.
goats.
Yeah, you're the goats. Much love. You guys make
that's
us
right.
enjoy doing this. So thank you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, all the buttons, Thank you. Have a
Yep.
great day.
Let's do it. I'll catch you guys later.